The rat at my house saw me eating pickles again today. It got pissed off right away. It pulled a gold bar straight out of its hole so I could improve my life. I was completely stunned. That gold bar in my hand weighed a full 2 kilograms. What's even weirder is, the rat was worried my skinny self couldn't hold on to this windfall. It even brought me a long-lost Baji Quan manual. I'm Lin Feng. An orphan so poor the only thing I own is my household registration. I still have to pay off the medical debts my parents left behind every month. My only family member is the rat that comes out on time every day to eat leftover scraps. Last midnight I sighed at the rat hole. I'm afraid I won't have any food to share with you from now on. You should go find somewhere else to make a living. Right after that I heard a loud clank. I hurried to turn on the light. I saw a skin and bones rat lying by my bed, staring right at me. There was a glittering golden thing in front of it, about as long as my palm. I rubbed my eyes. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. After I slapped myself twice in the face, I saw that the gold bar was still there. I realized I wasn't dreaming. This was real gold. Based on the market price of around 1,000 yuan per gram, 2 kilograms is 2,000 grams. That's 2 million yuan. Whoa. I'm freaking rich. With this 2 million yuan, I can not only pay off the 380,000 yuan I owe the village, I'll still have 1.62 million yuan left in savings. This was something I never even dared to dream of before. I was so excited I jumped straight up, so I immediately took out my last steamed bun, crushed it carefully, and placed it respectfully in front of the rat. It's basically my real dad now. I have to take good care of it. The full rat burped after eating and pointed its paw at its shabby little nest. I hurried to say when I saw that, "Hey bro, rat, I'll make you a new nest tomorrow." The rat nodded and scurried back to its nest. After I calmed down, I looked up ways to cash in gold bars online. Banks and gold shops require purchase receipts. Only pawn shops don't need any receipts, which fits perfectly with how my rat bro gave me this gold bar. So early the next morning, I stuffed the gold bar in my pocket and headed straight for the pawn shop. I asked the staff to take me to a private room to talk as soon as I walked in. After we got to the office, when Zhou Ming saw me take out the gold bar, he didn't care at all at first. But after he put on gloves and weighed it in his hand, his face changed immediately. This is an ancient gold bar. If it was just a regular gold bar, sold by banks or made privately, the value of these gold bars is just the market trading value of gold bars. But ancient gold bars are different. They're not just gold bars. They're antiques too. Their value isn't just the price of the gold itself. They also have great collection value, and even artistic value. A gold bar like this is way more valuable than ordinary people think. Zhou Ming kept rubbing the gold bar and the engraved Jiajing era pattern on the bottom. Then he glanced at me and saw me sitting on the chair looking a little nervous. He figured this item probably had a special origin, but he didn't care. Pawn shops don't ask where things come from. They only quote prices. Then Zhou Ming slowly put down the gold bar. "Sir?" "The value of this gold bar is beyond my authority. I need to go ask our manager for instructions." "Okay, please hurry up." Not long after, 2 people walked in. The one in front was a gray-haired, old man wearing a tang suit. Behind him was a tall young woman, wearing a black professional skirt suit, holding a tablet and a pair of new gloves. I learned from Zhou Ming that the old man's name was Gu Yuan, and he was the senior expert of their Jubao Xuan shop. The young woman's name was Su Qing, and she was the manager here. Subon took out a pair of gloves and put them on and started examining the gold bar carefully. Guyan sat on the chair opposite me, picked up the tea Zhou Ming just made, and spoke slowly. "You look unfamiliar, sir. What's your last name?" "My last name is Lin. Lin Tian." "Mr. Lin, where did this gold come from?" "Of course, if you don't feel comfortable saying, it's totally fine. It's a family heirloom, left by my grandfather. I didn't know about it before. My parents passed away recently. I found it when I was going through their belongings. I made up a lie. There's no way I'd tell anyone the truth. Mr. Gu, I've finished examining it. It's real." "Mr. Lin, what price are you looking to sell this gold bar for?" "You guys name your price. If I think it's fair, I'll take it." "Mr. Gu, what do you think?" "How about 3 million yuan? The current base gold price is 1,000 yuan per gram. This 2 kilo gold bar itself is worth 2 million yuan. plus the collection premium for an ancient official-made gold bar. This price is very reasonable. When I heard that price, my pupils widened in shock. This gold bar was selling for 1 million more than the base price. I didn't know there was a hidden premium, so I pretended to hesitate for a second. I'd actually already decided to sell it, but I had to play it cool. Can't let others see I have no clue about this stuff. Mr. Lin, this is already the highest buyback price available on the market right now. He originally planned to buy this gold bar for around 2.2 million, then resell it for 3 million to make an 800K profit in between. He didn't expect Gu Yuan to offer 3 million straight up. That's almost the top market price. There's barely any profit left for him. He was confused too, wondering why Gu Yuan would offer that price. All right, we'll go with that price. The second the 3 million hit my account, I tried my best to hide how ecstatic I was. I took Su Qing's business card, turned around and left right away. I found out later, Gu Yuan valued the nearly perfect condition of the gold bar and assumed I had more valuable stuff. He wanted to cast a long line to catch a big fish. After I left the pawn shop, I was so excited I slapped myself again. It hurt, but felt so good at the same time. Joy and panic from suddenly getting rich washed over me. I had no idea how to spend 3 million yuan. So I hopped on my beat-up electric scooter and rode around in circles for half an hour. I finally calmed down. First, I'd pay back the 380K I owed the villagers. The second, I paid off all my debts. I yelled at the top of my lungs to the air. Mom, Dad, we don't owe anyone money anymore. I need to plan properly for the rest of the money. But first things first, buy a house. Having your own place is the only way to really put down roots in this city. I looked up housing prices and picked a mid to high-end residential community, Xiying Homes. So I headed straight to the Xiying Homes sales office. The person who came out to greet me was a girl in a uniform skirt, with delicate makeup working as a sales rep. She stared at me for a second, confused. Lin Feng? I froze too. Her features looked familiar when I looked closer, but I couldn't remember who she was right away. I'm Su Yao, your junior high classmate. We even used to be desk mates. Oh wow, it's you! You've changed so much! I didn't recognize you at all. You haven't changed much, though. Oh, right. What are you doing here? Are you here to run some errands? I'm here to buy a house. I got straight to the point, and also asked if I could get a discount. Su Yao looked totally shocked. Her eyes unconsciously drifted down to my clothes that were faded from washing too much. My outfit definitely didn't make me look like someone who could afford a house. After she confirmed multiple times that I was actually buying a house, she offered a 5% discount in exchange for a meal. I picked a 110 square meter apartment and said straight up I'd pay in full. Su Yao was so shocked her jaw dropped. She rushed to ask her manager for approval and finally got me a 7% discount. That brought the total down to 1,023,000 yuan. After I paid, I had 1,597,000 yuan left in my account. That's more than enough for renovations and daily living expenses later. After all the paperwork was done, I got on my little electric scooter, ready to take her out for that promised meal. Su Yao frowned when she saw the scooter, looking totally disgusted. You just bought a house in full. Why are you still riding this crappy scooter? Haha, this thing still works fine. It'll last another 2 years easily. At the meal, Su Yao kept pestering me about how I got rich, her eyes full of curiosity. She obviously thought I made it through hard work, or had some secret way to make money. Of course I couldn't tell her the truth, so I brushed it off saying I won 2 million in the lottery. As soon as I said that, the warmth on her face disappeared instantly. Her attitude turned cold. For the rest of the meal, Su Yao just ate on her own and didn't say a single word to me on her own. I didn't really care about her cold attitude, though. But when I saw the over 1,000 yuan bill, I winced so hard from the pain of spending that much. But I figured it was worth it since she helped me save so much on the house. After the meal, I rode my electric scooter to drop her off at her rental apartment. After I watched her go upstairs, I turned my e-bike around and left. I had no idea at all. Right now, in the building she rented, a pair of eyes was staring hard at my receding back. On my way back, I suddenly thought of my rat bro at home. I had a nice meal outside today. I can't shortchange this big hero. If it weren't for him, let alone buying a house, I couldn't even afford a single hot pot meal. I'll go to the grocery store to buy some good stuff for him. I got half a roast duck and some chicken legs, and some pork head meat too. When I got home and turned on the light, I yelled towards the rat hole. Hey rat bro, I brought you lots of good food. Come out quick. The rat smelled the delicious scent too, and scrambled right out of the hole. I put the half-roast duck on the cabinet, and got him some water as well. I sat aside and put the chicken legs and pork head meat away. These are for you to eat tomorrow. Right at that moment, my phone pinged several times in a row. I opened it to check, and found someone sent me a friend request. Is this Lin Feng? I'm Zhang Man, Su Yao's close friend and bestie. I saw you drop Yao Yao off today, so I asked about you. I think you're really down to earth and hardworking. I want to make friends with you. This is my photo. I opened it to take a look. The girl in the photo was wearing a long white dress and high-heeled sandals. She looked pure and really pretty, especially her pair of long legs. They were so fair and smooth. I was a little stunned staring at it. I'm not good at chatting with girls, other than talking to customers when delivering packages. About a few work-related things, I barely have much contact with the opposite sex normally. I hesitated for a second, and only replied with one sentence. Hi, Jiangman! And didn't say anything else after that. But Jiangman was super enthusiastic. She sent another message soon after. Hey, are you free tomorrow? Come hang out with me. Sorry, I don't really have time. I have to work tomorrow. A few minutes later, her message popped up again. What about after work then? I do have a little time after work. I'll wait for you to get off work. I'll treat you to dinner, so we can get to know each other properly. Treating me to dinner? That's so nice, I replied without thinking. Of course. See you tomorrow then. Before I could refuse, she sent another message. Her tone had a cute, coquettish vibe to it. It's really late, I'm going to bed first. Good night, brother Lin. Such a clueless straight guy. I already invited him to hang out so enthusiastically, and he still didn't offer to treat me to dinner. I had to bring it up myself. Just wait! Early the next morning, I took out the ancient Bajikwan manual my rat bro brought me, spread it on the table, and studied it carefully. I've never practiced martial arts in my life. I didn't even know what Bajikwan was, so I could only follow the illustrations in the book move by move, and went through the explanation text word for word. Although I practiced slowly, I tried to make every move as standard and steady as possible. I didn't dare to be careless at all. I practiced for almost 2 hours straight. I was completely soaked in sweat. It was sticky and really uncomfortable. I took a cold shower, changed into clean clothes, and rushed off to the courier company for work. During my lunch break, I made a special detour to the Chinese medicine shop and got a whole bag of herbs according to the prescription in the manual. I also bought a clay pot. After I got home from work, I immediately poured the herbs into the pot to boil. Soon I boiled a pot of dark black medicinal liquid. It smelled bitter and astringent. I held my nose and chugged half of it down. I poured the rest into a bucket, took off my clothes, and soaked my whole body in it. The medicinal liquid was warm. After soaking for half an hour, all the tiredness in my body was gone. I felt completely relaxed all over. After I cleaned myself up, I rushed back to the courier company to continue my shift. Right after I got off work in the evening, Zhang Man sent me a message right away, urging me to pick her up. I rode my beat-up e-bike to her rented apartment building and saw her walk out all dolled up. She was wearing a floral dress, with delicate light makeup on. She saw the safety helmet on my head, then glanced at my electric bike all covered in scratches. Her expression didn't change at all, but a flicker of disgust crossed her eyes. She muttered to herself in her mind, he won the lottery but won't even buy a nicer car. What a stingy guy. Brother Lin, did you just get off work? Yeah, what about you? I got off work ages ago. I do office work. It's pretty relaxed. Brother Lin, are you tired from work today? I shook my head, said I wasn't tired. I drank the medicinal liquid earlier. Even though I was busy all afternoon, I still feel totally energized. After we arrived at the restaurant Jiang Man picked, we ordered a few dishes. We ate and chatted at the same time. Throughout the meal, Jiang Man kept asking about my family background. When she learned I'm from the countryside, and my parents passed away when I was young, she held my hand. Don't be sad, Brother Lin. Things will get better and better from now on. This sudden comfort actually made me feel a little touched. An hour later, when it got dark, I sent Jiang Man back to her home. I'm heading home now, Jiang Man. Be careful on the road. Bye, Brother Lin. Jiang Man waved at me as she watched my back riding away on the bike. Jiang Man gritted her teeth. He actually let me pay for the meal. And I have to treat him to a movie tomorrow, too. Lin Feng, you're taking advantage of me. As soon as she finished speaking, Su Yao's words suddenly popped into her head. Her face lit up immediately. He won the lottery and bought a house. He probably still has 600 to 700,000 wen left. This amount of money is exactly the startup capital for the beauty salon she's been dreaming of. With that thought, all her previous reluctance vanished right away. She started scheming in her head. So what if I treat him to meals and movies? As long as I can get Lin Feng to willingly spend money, this little effort is nothing at all. Meanwhile, I had no idea about any of this. I was in a really good mood. I even couldn't help humming a tune on my way back. When I passed the vegetable shop, I bought chicken legs, duck necks, and chicken wings for the rat. When I got home, I fed the pig head meat to the rat, took a shower, and laid on the bed. Jiang Man sent me a message again and started chatting with me. She was super enthusiastic, kept bringing up new topics to talk about, and even shared little bits of her daily life with me. Early the next morning, I was just about to go brush my teeth when I suddenly saw behind my door there was an envelope on the floor. Obviously, someone slipped it through the door crack last night. I was totally shocked. I don't have many friends in this city. Even people I know well will just message me or meet me directly if they need anything. Who would go out of their way to send me a letter? I walked over carefully, bent down to pick up the envelope, and tore it open gently. The moment I saw what was written in the letter, my expression turned weird immediately. The sender was actually the kind guy who came to borrow stuff before and left 200 yuan to compensate me. This time he came to give me money again. Hey buddy, I accidentally broke your door lock earlier. I felt bad about it ever since. I was worried you wouldn't have money to replace the lock, and that would mess up your life. I came here to give you money for fixing the lock, but when I got here, I smelled a strong medicinal smell at your door. We're both ordinary folks working far from home. Here's 500 yen. It's a little gift I saved up recently. Take it, live well, and don't be sad. The hard times will pass eventually. A passerby. I was confused as hell. Wait, what's wrong with the medicinal smell? I looked at the content of the letter. Why does it sound like I'm living a super hard life? He must have misunderstood, right? Thinking of this, I didn't know what to say. I'm rich now. I feel really bad taking this money. As for telling a stranger that I'm rich now, I don't think he'd believe me anyway. He might even get the wrong idea. I have to find this kind guy and give the money back to him. But how do I find this kind guy? I started thinking. Just then, the rat waddled over again, holding a book in its mouth. I picked it up and took a look. My eyes widened immediately. This is Collected Cases of Injustice Rectified, written by Song Tsai, the coroner of the Song dynasty. Thanks a lot, bro, rat. I walked over and patted its head. I fed the rat the duck neck I bought last night. After feeding brother rat, I picked up the Washing Away of Wrongs it had just carried here. My fingertips brushed the yellowed pages. I couldn't help wondering, can this book help me find that kind stranger? I opened it up and took a look. It was packed with notes on all kinds of investigation methods, as well as the full case-solving process and reasoning of Song Chai. From on-site observation to clue deduction, every detail was thoroughly recorded. The more I read, the more hooked I got. It was a total eye-opener. I carefully put the Washing Away of Wrongs away with the Baji Quan manual. Then I picked up the martial arts manual to practice. On the first day of practice, I was super clumsy. My moves were really awkward. But the second time I practiced, I was already pretty good at it. I could do every move quickly and correctly. I did several sets of forms in a row. I was soaked in sweat all over. I took a shower and changed into clean clothes. I specifically put the Washing Away of Wrongs in my bag before heading to the courier company for work. After finishing my morning delivery route, during my break, I took out the book and flipped through a few pages. The more I read, the more brilliant the reasoning methods seemed. At around 2 p.m., I suddenly got a message on my phone. It was from Xi Wangxin, a regular customer who often sends parcels through me. At first, I had no idea what she did for work, until one time I picked up her parcel and saw the packaging was damaged. When I went back to ask her to repack it, I found out she is an online streamer who posts clothing, outfit sharing content. Since I've always been in charge of deliveries in this area, We got to know each other well over time. Xiao Wangxin is 25 years old this year. A few years older than me. She has a really cheerful personality. At the agreed time, 10 minutes later, I took the elevator to the floor her apartment is on. I just turned the corner of the hallway and was about to knock on the door when I spotted a suspicious hooded figure peeking through the peephole of Xiao Wangxin's door. His body twitched every now and then. He obviously was up to no good. If this had happened before, with my skinny build, I would have yelled for help immediately if I ran into this, and grabbed a stick for courage before getting close. But I've been practicing Bajiquan for 2 days recently. Even though my body hasn't changed much physically, I've gotten a lot bolder. A wave of courage rose up in my chest. I grabbed a mop that was left in the hallway by someone unknown next to me. I gripped the handle tight and walked towards the guy. "Who are you?" "What are you doing?" The hooded man tensed up and shivered. He was pulling up his pants zipper with one hand and took off running the other way. I swung the mop and hit him right on the back. The guy fell to the ground and let out a scream right after. Then he scrambled up on all fours and ran down the stairs through the emergency exit. I didn't go after him. I just watched his embarrassed, retreating figure from afar. Let's see if you dare come back again. "Sister Wangxing, I'm here." Sister Wangxin, where's the package?" "Do I look pretty?" "Yeah, super pretty. Where's the thing you want me to send?" "So perfunctory. You men always love the new and loathe the old." "The stuff is here. Take it yourself." "All right, just now outside your door. I saw a suspicious person peeking at your place. I already chased him away. He probably won't come back again. But you should still be careful these days. Don't open the door for strangers easily. You really saw him. I felt like someone's been watching me lately. I didn't think it was real. It's probably someone who bought stuff from me before. I don't know him. All right, I'll get going then, Sister Wangxin." "Wait a second. Throw this trash out for me. Take this 500 yuan. This isn't a tip. It's payment for your help. If you see that guy again in the future, I'll call you to chase him away, 500 each time." "No, I can't take that. Sister Wangxin, you don't make money easily either. This money I really can't accept." Xiao Wangxin was stunned for a second. She brushed the hair off her forehead and smiled. "Little brother Xiao Feng is such an honest kid. Guess I didn't dote on you for nothing. Here's 100 then. I have to compensate you for taking up your time. You have to take it." Before leaving, I walked around her doorway to make sure I didn't see that. I only left after making sure there were no more sneaky men around. I didn't notice a thing. Right now, Xiao Wanqing was standing upstairs watching me. She chuckled and mumbled to herself. "This little guy, I'll give him some nice stuff as compensation next time he comes." It was a little past 5 p.m. I got another pickup notice from that difficult Aunt Qian about picking up her parcel. She's a retired teacher who lives alone. She's super picky. She always makes me wait for nothing, and she files complaints over the smallest things. I had no choice, so I rushed over right away. When I got to her door, I found it was open. She was lying face down on the floor. My heart skipped a beat instantly. I called out to her, but got no response. I checked her breathing. She was dead, so I called the police immediately, while waiting for the police to arrive. I thought of the collected cases of injustice rectified. I'd been reading lately, so I put a plastic bag over my hand and checked the scene myself first. Her neck was still a little warm. She had just died not long ago. There was a small puddle of scented, oily liquid by her feet. The back of her head was hit several times. There was a lot of blood, but something felt off to me. She's usually very clean, but the position of that puddle was weird. Also, the way she fell didn't look like what you'd expect if someone attacked her from behind. I was still thinking this over when my hair suddenly stood on end. I started to get really nervous. "I know you're watching me." There was no response, but I was totally sure someone was watching me. He took a deep breath and remembered who lived in the apartment across the hall. It was a guy in his 20s, wearing glasses. A gentle, polite young man surnamed Li. He was way more physically fit than I was. He seemed pretty nice and had helped me before. Right now I was in great danger. I pressed myself almost flat against the wall. Mr. Lee, are you really not going to come out? His gaze was sharp, staring at that door the whole time, not looking away for a second. He was scared that if he looked away, the guy would rush out and attack him. Mr. Lee, I know what kind of person you are. Besides, I've already called the police. There's no way you can escape. I suggest you wait for the officers to arrive and turn yourself in. If you do that, you can get lenient treatment, he said again. Right after he said that, the door made a clicking sound and opened from the inside. I didn't relax at all. I was even more tense than before. This guy killed someone. He must have knives in his apartment. I had to be extra careful. The door swung fully open. A guy wearing glasses, with fair skin, around 1.8 meters tall, appeared in front of me. He pushed his glasses up, looking gentle like a scholar. His hands were empty. He wasn't holding a knife. This was the Mr. Lee I was talking about. How did you know I killed her? Mr. Lee asked calmly. I smiled and said I guessed. From that line alone, I knew my guess was right. Totally correct. The murderer, the one who killed Aunt Chien, was the Mr. Lee standing right in front of me. I felt both scared and excited at the same time. A guess? Mr. Lee stared at me, looking completely dumbfounded. Just then, the elevator dinged and opened on this floor. A bunch of officers rushed out of it. They spotted the fallen middle-aged woman right away and hurried over to her. Then the young man leading them squatted down and checked the pulse of the woman on the ground. He took out his badge and asked me seriously, I'm Zhao Sen, captain of the police team. Which one of you two called the police? I raised my hand. Reporting, sir. I'm the one who called the police. I'm a witness. Chosor nodded. What about you? Are you his neighbor across the hall? He glanced at the open door behind Mr. Lee and asked the glasses-wearing Mr. Lee. The glasses-wearing Mr. Lee curved the corner of his mouth into a smile. Yes, I'm not just his neighbor across the hall. I'm also the one who killed her. I'm the murderer. Officers, I want to turn myself in, he said. Zhao Sen was shocked, stepped back abruptly and yelled, Get over here! He yelled, and right away, all the nearby police officers rushed over. They surrounded Mr. Lee, who was wearing glasses. All of them looked very alert. No one could have guessed that this gentle, well-mannered young man with glasses was actually a murderer. But their professional training quickly calmed them down. Hands up. Zhao Sen shouted immediately. Mr. Lee with glasses raised his hands. He was cuffed right away by nearby officers and taken away. Zhao Sen gave the order. Mr. Lee with glasses was escorted away by several officers. Zhao Sen breathed a sigh of relief. He pulled me aside, asked for my name, phone number, and occupation, and whether I saw Mr. Lee commit the murder. After learning I didn't witness the murder, Zhao Sen patted me on the shoulder. All right, Lin Tian, I'll call you if I have more questions. You'll need to come to the police station for questioning then, Zhao Sen said after finishing the questions, and I nodded. Yes, sir. I'll cooperate fully. Zhao Sen nodded slightly and said, You can go now. After I left, a young policewoman arrived late. Captain Zhao, where's the victim? Is there anything I need to look into? She asked, completely out of breath. Zhao Sen had a stern look on his face. Lin, you're way too late. Sorry, Captain Zhao. I'll definitely work out more to get my physical fitness up to standard, Lin said in a hurry. Good, but we don't need you to investigate anything now. I've already assigned someone to handle it. Come back with me. We'll interrogate the murderer who confessed to the crime together, Zhao Sen said with his hands behind his back. Captain Zhao, the case is solved, Lin asked in shock. She never expected that her first murder case would be solved before she even showed up. The case was already closed, and the murderer was already caught. That's way too fast, isn't it? Zhao Sen also didn't expect the case to be solved so quickly. Of course it's a good thing the case is solved. We caught the murderer after all. Of course it's solved, he said calmly. Ling caught up with Zhao Sen's steps. Captain Zhao, you're so amazing. You solved the case so fast, getting praised by Ling. Zhao Sen coughed lightly. Learn from me properly in the future. You've got a lot to learn. He didn't explain anything, and just said casually, Meanwhile, I left the building and delivered packages for almost another hour. When it got dark, he finally got off work. Brother Yang, are you off work yet? Jongman sent me this message right after I finished work. She's way too enthusiastic. She invited me to watch a movie yesterday. I stroked my chin. I think Jongman is being way too nice to me. I don't think she has a crush on me. After all, I'm well aware of my looks and family background. Besides, we've only met once. There's no way she'd fall for me that fast. If she doesn't like me romantically, why is she being so nice to me? Does she just think I'm a decent guy? Am I that attractive? I can understand inviting me to dinner, but inviting me to a movie too. Also, we didn't even finish dinner last night before she asked me to go to the movies. If I didn't think it was too late and needed to go home to feed my pet rat and turn Jungman down, I probably would have gone to the movie with Jungman last night. Am I overthinking this? I flipped through The Washing Away of Wrongs. The more I read it, the more I realize how dangerous the world can be. It made me a lot more cautious of the people around me. I'm just a poor guy. What could she possibly want from me? I smiled casually. My eyes suddenly twitched a little as I thought about my current situation. Don't judge people with bias. You'll easily get them wrong that way. If she really has bad intentions, she'll slip up in front of me sooner or later. I'm pretty observant. I texted Jiangman back. Just got off work, I'll come pick you up right away. Okay, brother Yang. Be safe on the road, okay? All right. I rode my electric bike to the apartment building Jiang Man rented. A woman's voice called out Ling Tian. I looked up and saw Ku Yanyuan. She was standing by the window looking at me. What's up, classmate Q? Ku Yanyuan smiled. Take good care of my best friend. Don't bully her. No problem. Knock, knock, knock. Then Jiang Man came downstairs. She was wearing a long red dress today. She looked extra stunning and charming. Brother Yang, who are you talking to? Ku Yuanyuan, your best friend? Jiang Man glanced at Ku Yuanyuan upstairs and made a funny face at her. Let's go, ignore her. She got on the back seat of my electric scooter. She wrapped her arms around my waist very familiarly. Outside the interrogation room of the police station, Xiaosen and Lingling stood in front of a transparent glass. Looking at the interrogation room inside the glass, inside the interrogation room, 2 young police officers were sitting there. Opposite them sat a man with his hands cuffed, wearing glasses. A gentle-looking young man. This is Mr. Li, who admitted he was the murderer, admitted killing Aunt Qian, and was arrested to the police station for interrogation. Are you going to talk or not? An officer stood up, slammed the table, and snapped. The bespectacled Mr. Li kept his head down. His eyes were dull. He stared at his cuffed hands, not knowing what he was thinking. No matter what the officer in front of him said, he didn't say a single word. He just kept silent. Zhao Cern outside the interrogation room frowned tightly. It's already been an hour. He still won't say anything. Ling Ling, who stood next to him holding a notebook and a pen, said helplessly. Ever since we came back, she asked Zhao Sen to arrange her to watch here. She thought she would learn some criminal interrogation skills. But no matter how the 2 officers inside questioned him, the arrested young man just wouldn't say a word. Not a single sound at all. Just like a mute? Looks like I have to interrogate him myself, Chowson said with a solemn face. Ling Ling got excited right away. The captain is finally taking action himself. She can learn a lot this time. When we came back an hour ago, she thought Zhaosen would take her in to interrogate the murderer. But Zhaosen was called by the director to report the situation, so she could only stay here to watch and learn. Now she has the chance to go inside, to interrogate the murderer in person, and this is her first time facing a murderer directly. How could she not be excited and nervous? Ling Ling, come in with me. Don't talk later. Watch me get all the truth out of him. Sister Qi, take notes carefully. Listen carefully. Study hard. Zhaosun instructed seriously. Ling Ling stood straight. I understand, Captain. Come with me. Zhaosun led Ling Ling towards the interrogation room. He opened the door directly when they arrived at the entrance. The 2 sitting officers inside looked over. Zhaosun said immediately, You 2 go out first. Let me interrogate him. The 2 officers nodded. Okay, Captain. The 2 officers took their things and walked out the door. The door of the interrogation room was closed. Zhaosun and Ling Ling sat down. Zhaosun faced the gentle, bespectacled Mr. Li. Your name is Li Chengqi, right? He asked, the bespectacled. Gentle-looking Mr. Li didn't answer. Zhaosun's face darkened. Li Chengqi? Even if you don't say anything now, we have evidence to prove you are the murderer, that you are the one who killed the person. Sitting next to him, Ling felt a sharp aura rising up inside the interrogation room. She thought if Zhao Sen said that to her, she definitely wouldn't be able to stand it, and would have spoken already. The captain is so awesome, she thought to herself when suddenly a laugh came to her ears. The sound got louder and louder, more and more unbridled. Ling looked up. It was the bespectacled Li Chengqi opposite them. What was he laughing at? She was totally confused when a loud bang came. Starting. Zhao Sen stared at Li Chengqi. What have you figured out? Have you figured it out? That you need to confess honestly. Li Chengqi's eyes flickered. He said he guessed it, but I clearly saw him looking around the body for a long time. He must have seen through my scheme and plan. That's how he knew I was the murderer. Too bad I was too flustered at first because it was my first murder. I was way too nervous. I didn't react in time. Now thinking about it, Li Chengqi spent so long planning this scheme and tested it several times. I only did it when I thought it was flawless. How could he possibly guess I'm the murderer so easily? He said slowly, with a hint of unwillingness in his tone. Zhao Sen took a deep breath. Li Chengqi, I'm telling you to confess how you committed the murder, not to beat around the bush with me. Li Chengqi tilted his head and curled the corner of his mouth. Officer, didn't you just say you already have evidence to prove I'm the murderer? Then let me ask you this. Where's the murder weapon? Do you know that? He didn't answer Zhao Sen's question. Instead, he changed the subject. Where is the murder weapon? Zhao Sen was stunned for a second. According to the forensic examination, the victim's wounds were caused by a sharp object. He already sent people to search Li Chengqi's house, but the latest feedback we got says the murder weapon hasn't been found yet. You didn't find it, did you? Li Chengqi spoke again. Zhao Sen slammed the table once more. Li Chengqi, I'm the one interrogating you here, not the other way around. Li Chengqi adjusted his glasses. Calm down, officer. What happened that day, and my whole plan, until he shows up, I'm not telling you anything, he said in a deep voice, who's not coming. Zhao Sen was confused for a moment. Your accomplice, he snapped back to his senses and gestured to Ling. To tell Ling to take notes right away, Ling got the hint and started typing immediately. After hearing this, Li Chengqi, his eyes lit up. Officer, I, Li Chengqi, take full responsibility for my own actions. I committed the murder all by myself. Then who do you want to see? I want to see Xiaoyang, the delivery guy. He's the one who saw through my plan and tracked me down. He's the one who pointed out I'm the murderer and convinced me to turn myself in at home. I need to see him. I want to know how he saw through my plan and figured out I'm the killer. Otherwise, I won't rest in peace even if I die. Li Chengqi said seriously. Xiaoyang, that young delivery guy, the delivery guy who was at the crime scene, you want to see him? You said he convinced you to turn yourself in. Zhao Sen looked completely unbelievable. Ling was also stunned. Weren't you the one who found the murderer, Captain? Li Chengqi pushed his glasses up the bridge of his nose. Yes, it's him. I want to see him. I want to know where he spotted the loophole. Zhao Sen was about to say something else. Li Chengqi raised his hand. Stop asking me questions. I don't want to say anything anymore. He lowered his head and zoned out again. Seeing this, Zhao Sen pulled back the stool. Come outside with me. He walked ahead. Lin followed closely behind. Captain, who is that delivery guy, Lin Tian? He arrived at the scene a little late and didn't see me. But when he was downstairs, he saw a parked three-wheeled delivery vehicle. All I know is he works as a delivery guy and said he witnessed the death scene and was the one who called the police. I never thought he was the one who found the murderer. Zhao Sen replied. He realized that the questioning he did on me back then was way too casual. He had underestimated the guy. Ling was speechless. A delivery guy solved the murder case. That's kind of crazy. An electric bike was driving on the side of the road. It wasn't going very fast. A gentle breeze blew past my ears. Jiang Man's skirt fluttered in the wind. Since it was a bright red long dress, she caught every passerby's eye wherever she went. When passersby saw her, then saw her gently hugging me who was wearing a helmet, riding a beat-up electric bike, they couldn't help but ask themselves, what am I worse than him at the entrance of the cinema? I stopped the e-bike, and Jongman called Brother Yang. After we watched the movie later, can we go to a hotel for dinner? Jangman wrapped her arms around mine and said intimately, I hesitated for a second. It's my treat. Jangman continued, and I smiled. No, you already treated me to the movie, and now you're treating me to dinner too. That's already so much of your money. How can I let you spend more? It's my turn to treat you this time. Jangman held my hand. Her eyes were slightly red. Brother Yang, do you hate me? No, why would you say that? If you don't hate me, why won't you let me treat you to dinner? Jangman said in a small voice. Brother Yang, when you say that, my heart aches a little. For me, treating you to a meal is never a waste of money. 'Cause you mean so much to me. Her voice was soft and sweet. Her words warmed my heart instantly. I'd never had a girl care about me this much. Jangman, you're such a nice girl. But this time I'm paying for sure. You grew up in the countryside too. Making money isn't easy for you. Besides, you see me as a friend, so I should treat you as a friend too. If I always let you pay, that makes me look so stingy. I explained. Jangman pressed her red lips together and broke into a smile. Brother Yang, thanks for caring about me. I was wrong, sorry. Then she leaned against me gently, getting even closer. At the entrance of the cinema, I bought popcorn and 2 cups of milk tea. Jiangman scanned the tickets, and we went inside together. We were watching a horror movie that day. Our seats were near the corner. The lighting there was very dim. Barely anyone paid attention to us. Not long after we sat down, the movie started. Horror movies weren't scary to me at all. After all, I'd read Collection of Grievance Rectification. Plus, I'd even seen and touched a corpse earlier that day. A few scary scenes were as easy to watch as cartoons for me. I was calm, but Jongman was definitely not. She was so scared she pressed right up against me, burying her head in my chest every now and then. Her whole body was trembling, looking totally terrified. I patted her head. Don't be scared, I'm here. I comforted her softly. Jongman nodded. I'm so lucky to have you, Brother Yang. In the dim light, she looked up at me. Her eyes were sparkling, like I was some kind of god, full of adoration. Jiangmen, you're so scared. Maybe we should go out and switch to a romance movie, huh? I asked caringly. Jiangman rubbed her head against my chest. No way. I love horror movies the most, even though they scare me. They're so exciting. I'll be fine once it's over. I answered, okay then. Since she liked it, I couldn't really say no. Suddenly, my body tensed up. I grabbed Jongman, who was moving over, about to sit on my lap. Jongman, what are you doing? Jongman wrapped her arms around my neck. Brother Yang, this movie is so scary. Can I hold you while we watch? She said it like she was asking for permission, but didn't wait for my answer. She slowly pushed my hand away and sat down with her back to me. She took both my hands and wrapped them around her waist. When a scary scene came on, she shook her body again, turned around and buried herself in my arms. That made me a little flustered. It felt like there was a fire burning inside me. I was barely able to control myself. I called Jongman in a low voice. A cunning look flashed across Jongman's face. She knew what I was going to say, but she pretended she didn't hear me and screamed. Ah, that's so scary. I'm so scared. She threw herself into my arms again. She thought to herself at that moment, today I'll make you little virgin. Learn what real pleasure for a man is. Make you love this feeling. Get addicted to it completely. So you'll fall for me real quick. Can't live without me. And do whatever I say. Jiangman knew men really well. With Jongman acting like that. My face was bright red. Jongman. I tried to say something, but couldn't get the words out. Those words were just too embarrassing for me to say. I didn't have to say it. Jongman knew exactly what I meant. She also knew I couldn't hold on much longer. Little virgin is just a little virgin already this worked up. I'll let you take advantage of me this time. Once I get my hands on your money, I'll definitely get someone to break your legs for daring to take advantage of me. Just as she thought that, A ringing phone cut off both of their thoughts. Who is that? Who doesn't turn off their phone during a movie? Someone yelled unhappily from behind. I quickly took my phone out of my pocket and hit the mute button. Jiang Man is calling. I need to step out to take it, I said with a huge sigh of relief. It's almost working. There's no way Jiang Man would let me leave right now. Brother Yang, call back after the movie, okay? It's not urgent anyway, she coaxed. I glanced at the number on my phone. I didn't recognize it at all. He gritted his teeth and pressed the decline button. That feeling was just too overwhelming for him to control. Jiang Man noticed I declined the call and got even more affectionate right away. My phone vibrated again. It was still that same number. Looks like it's something urgent. I really need to take this. I pushed Jiang Man away. He scrambled out of the cinema in a fluster. Jiang Man stared at his leaving back and snorted coldly. Damn it, my plan almost worked today, so close. Who the hell called him anyway? What a total waste of my time. Then she stood up too. Horror movies. She wasn't scared of them at all. She was just putting on an act earlier. To look all weak and delicate in front of me, just to win my sympathy. When she walked out, she saw me walking back after the call. Brother Yang, I was so scared the second you left. Jiang Man ran over looking all wronged, grabbed my arm and acted all coy. Are you done with the call? Let's go back in to watch, yeah? I won't be scared as long as you're with me. She thought this was the perfect chance. She had to seize it to finish her plan and make me fall completely for her sweet little act. I rubbed the tip of my nose. Sorry, Jiang Man. I have something really important to handle. I can't watch the movie and have dinner with you today. Tomorrow I'll treat you to a nice meal at a fancy hotel. Is that okay as compensation? The call was from the police station. They said Li Chengqi wanted to see him. He had to go there immediately. Brother Yang. What could be more important than me? Jiang Man said, sounding super reluctant. Her eyes were glistening with tears. She looked so delicate and pitiful, like anyone would want to comfort her. Jiang Man, this is a matter of life and death. I have to go. I saw how scared Jiang Man was during the movie, so I didn't mention that she saw the dead body today. I didn't want to scare her. When Jiang Man heard that, she laughed to herself inside. What life or death matter could a delivery guy possibly have? So she figured it out instantly. Looks like my plan worked. He couldn't hold it in. He's afraid of embarrassing himself in front of me. He's going home to change his pants. I should back off for now then. If I keep clinging to him, he'll end up getting annoyed. Besides, the plan already worked. Tomorrow he'll remember how that felt and want to do it again. Then he'll be totally wrapped around my finger. Once Jiang Man figured all that out, she squeezed my hand. All right then, your business is more important, Brother Yang. I'll listen to you. I'll hail a taxi for you. To send you home first. Okay? Soon a taxi pulled over. Jiang Man got in the car and waved goodbye to me. Stay safe, Brother Yang. Don't wear yourself out. Remember to get home early and rest, she said, sounding all concerned. Okay, shortly after she left, a police car stopped right in front of me. There was a young girl sitting in the car. It was Lin Ling. She raised her eyebrows slightly, looking at me standing by the road, holding a hard hat, in worn-out clothes. This is the guy who correctly identified Li Chengqi as the killer. She was filled with endless confusion. I looked so ordinary in her eyes. Skinny, clearly malnourished. Plus, from years of working as a delivery guy, his face was really tanned dark. Standing by the road, holding a hard hat. If Lin Ling didn't know I was a delivery guy, she would have thought I was a construction worker moving bricks. She couldn't see anything special about him at all. Lin Ling thought to herself. Just then, Zhao Sen, who was sitting in the passenger seat, tapped on the car door. Get in the car quick, he yelled. He was also full of questions right now. I opened the back door and got inside, then closed the door. Zhao Sen stared at me. What are you doing with a hard hat? I put the hard hat aside, right on the electric bike. I'm scared someone might swipe it. Sure, this hard hat's a little worn out, but it still works fine. I'd never throw it away. You're so thrifty, huh? Zhao Sen sighed. Let's hit the road. Okay. Lin Lin started the car with a bunch of annoying doubts, headed straight for the police station. Lin Tian, Li Chengqi said you cracked the case and found out the truth. Before telling him to turn himself in, Xiaosen asked me through the rearview mirror. Yep, I answered. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Xiaosen said helplessly. If he'd known this earlier, he would have invited me to the station right away, instead of wasting time coming to get me. You never asked. I didn't bring any of this up back then. Besides, Xiaosen not asking. I thought since Li Chunqi turned himself in, he would spill everything about the murder of Aunt Qian, his plan and his motive. Who knew he'd clam up the second he stepped into the station? Hearing my three-word reply, Xiaosen collapsed back into his seat, defeated. How was I supposed to know a delivery guy could solve a murder case? He thought bitterly to himself. I can only count on him now. Li Chunqi had just mocked him, and now he needed me to get his dignity back. The car pulled up in front of the police station. I got out of the car with Zhao Sen and Lin Lin. Come with me, Zhao Sen said, leading the way. Lin Lin and I followed right behind. Heading inside, all the officers we passed greeted Zhao Sen first. Then all stared right at me, looking totally shocked. That's Lin Tian? The delivery guy who solved the murder. One officer whispered. Must be him, right? Why else would the captain bring him back? Another officer replied uncertainly. He doesn't look that sharp, though. Did he really solve the case? Xiaosen frowned hard. You guys love gossiping behind people's backs that much. Got nothing better to do. He snapped. All the chattering stopped immediately. Then they headed into the interrogation room. Xiaosen stood in front of the one-way glass. He's in there, he said, pointing at the other side of the glass. I stood next to him and nodded. I see. What do you need me to do? Xiaosen turned to look at me. Do you know how to interrogate someone? I shook my head. Actually, I had read entries in The Washing Away of Wrongs by Songxi that recorded his interrogation processes. The book also documented how Songxi interrogated suspects, but interrogation requires both study and real-world experience. I've got the study part down, at most, but I've never done it in real life. Since I've never done it before, I wasn't going to cockily claim I knew how. All right, just go in and meet him then. Say whatever you want to him. Let him say whatever he wants to you too, Xiaosen instructed. I'm just a delivery guy, not a cop. I don't know how to interrogate anyone. He can't force me to do something I don't know how to. That's not realistic. Okay, I'll do it, I agreed. Ling Ling, go in with Lin Tian. And take notes for him. Xiaosen ordered. Yes, Captain. Ling Ling was really excited. She was super curious. How I, a totally average-looking guy, managed to crack the case and point out who the killer was. She also wanted to know what exactly Li Chunqi had planned. Mr. Yang, please come with me, Lin Lin said to me politely. She walked ahead to lead the way and brought me into the interrogation room. The second I walked in, Li Chunqi's blank expression vanished, and he lifted his head. He adjusted his glasses and smiled. You're here. He only had eyes for me. No one else mattered. Not even the pretty female officer Ling Ling. He completely ignored her. Yeah, I'm here. I sat down with Ling Ling. I looked Li Chunqi right in the eye. Mr. Li, why did you ask to see me? Li Chunqi's lips curled up, looking a little unhinged. I want you to tell me how you saw through my plan and figured out I was the killer. Don't tell me you just guessed. That's impossible. My plan wasn't that easy to figure out. Besides, I saw everything you did, with the body crystal clear. You definitely saw everything I did. That's how you knew I was standing behind the door, watching you the whole time. I touched my nose. He didn't answer right away. He glanced at Ling Ling next to him and found Ling Ling staring at him seriously. No idea what was on her mind. Noticing he turned his head, Ling Ling immediately blushed and looked at the computer. Then I looked at the glass separating the two rooms. I guess a lot of people are watching me. He could feel lots of eyes on him, waiting for him to speak. Just say it, I did it anyway, he thought to himself. I turned around. It was Li Chunqi. The first thing I saw was Aunt Qian lying on the floor. She had blunt force trauma on the back of her head, and the injury wasn't from just one hit. There were multiple impact spots too, so I concluded Aunt Qian was murdered, not suicide or an accident. What's next? Li Chunqi looked straight at me and asked, I didn't suspect you at first, until I was by Aunt Qian's feet and spotted some oily water stains. I got down and sniffed it. It was a mix of vegetable soup and water droplets. And when I got really close, I felt a slight chill I touched it with my hand. It was cold too. I was confused right then. Why would there be vegetable soup here? Why was it still cold on such a hot day? After thinking for a while, I realized if the dish was just taken out of the fridge not long ago, and the droplets dripped from the dish, then the droplets would stay cold. But I checked Aunt Qian's hands. There was nothing on them. She was empty-handed. No water droplets on her hands either. Her fridge was closed, and her door opens outward, which means Aunt Qian just got home. So I guessed the soup on the floor wasn't from Aunt Qian's place. If it's not from her place, the most likely source is your place across the hall. I went on to say, after all, only people who live nearby could have soup from a just-taken-out fridge dish that drips down and stays cold for that long. Li Chunqi clapped his hands. Your reasoning is pretty good, but it could also be someone carrying food from my place, dripping soup when they left. Or someone could have taken a dish just out of the fridge from Aunt Qian's home and dropped the soup. You've got no reason to suspect me directly, right? I looked calm. Yeah, that's totally possible. But on the other side of the glass, click, 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 a woman in high heels, with her hair up in a bun, in a white coat walked over holding a document. She's the forensic doctor of the police station. Her name is Zhou Pei. She got to the interrogation room door. She saw a bunch of officers gathered inside and outside the room, all staring quietly inside. She frowned immediately. Hey, she flicked the document lightly and hit the back of a young officer standing at the interrogation room door. The young officer turned around right away. When he saw Zhou Pei, he smiled immediately. Forensic Dr. Zhou, what brings you here? He asked. Zhou Pei lifted the document. Bringing the autopsy report to your captain. What about you guys? What are you doing here? Hanging around in a group like this? You're almost filling up the whole interrogation room, she asked confusedly. She also noticed that Zhao Sen didn't stop this behavior at all. Zhou Pei knew Zhao Sen very well. He had a really bad temper. There's no way he'd normally tolerate a bunch of officers slacking off and hanging around during work hours, unless something huge was happening inside that caught Zhao Sen's full attention. So he didn't care about the other officers around. Forensic Dr. Zhou, you don't get it. Zhou Pei's face turned cold. If I knew, why would I ask you? The young officer smiled awkwardly. Sorry, I forgot. You don't care about what's going on outside the lab. It makes sense you don't know. Here's the thing. There's a delivery guy in the interrogation room right now who's figuring out the whole case. We're all listening and learning from him. Zhou Pei looked a little shocked. Crazy, right? Forensic Dr. Zhou. We were all super surprised at first, too. A delivery guy not doing his deliveries and doing detective work instead. But from what I've heard so far, this guy actually knows his stuff. He's already gotten to the part where he explains how he suspected Aunt Qian's neighbor, and he's about to keep going. Want to come in and listen too, Forensic Dr. Zhou? The young police officer asked. Zhou Pei let out a soft huff. Not free. Move aside. I'm going in to hand the autopsy report to your captain, she said coldly. The young officer stepped out of the way. He knew this female medical examiner was not to be messed with. As she walked closer, all the officers stepped aside one by one, letting Zhou Pei walk up to Zhao Sen. Right now, she didn't take the autopsy report to give to Zhao Sen immediately. Instead, she stood right next to Zhao Sen, staring at the interrogation room through the glass, and watched quietly. Didn't Forensic Zhou say she wouldn't listen? The young officer was stunned at the scene. Then he shook his head helplessly. Tsk, women really do say one thing and mean another. Wait, why did I get pushed out? The young officer was so frustrated he could almost cry. The space is only so big. It was already packed full. With Zhou Pei joining the crowd, of course someone has to stand outside, right? Inside the interrogation room, Li Chunqi adjusted his glasses. So what's wrong? Did I leave any other clues that could expose me? Of course you did, where? Li Chunqi never expected that. The plan he thought was flawless. Had so many flaws in my eyes. The position where Aunt Qian fell, I said slowly. She didn't fall right at the front entrance. She just unlocked the door and was about to go in, when someone couldn't wait to attack her. The moment she was knocked down, she fell sideways into the room. Is there any problem with that? Li Chunqi asked confusedly. There is, if someone followed Aunt Qian upstairs to get revenge on her. There's no need for him to wait until Aunt Chien unlocks the door to launch his revenge attack. He could have attacked her earlier in the hallway. If it was a robber who wanted to kill and steal, he also wouldn't wait for Aunt Chien to open the door to make his move. He could have acted a little later, waited until Aunt Chien fully opened the door, then rushed inside to attack her, or dragged the body inside, acting right at the door, leaving half the body inside the door and half outside. That's just drawing attention. People would easily notice something happened to Aunt Chien and come over to check. If the killer was inside stealing money, then wouldn't he get trapped inside? So the only reason the killer attacked at that moment and didn't drag the body inside is that he didn't want people to notice that Aunt Chien died right at his door. That way he wouldn't draw the police's suspicion, I said in a solemn voice. This is both a killer's subconscious self-protective behavior and also a move to avoid being suspected. As for how I knew you were watching me, it's because of that drop of slightly cold water stain on the floor plus the uncoagulated blood on the back of Aunt Chien's head wound. This proves Aunt Chien was just killed. The killer most likely hasn't left yet. When I started suspecting you and figured out you were the killer, I realized this was probably your first time killing someone. You were really nervous inside. Plus, I arrived too fast. So fast that it made you feel uneasy. So you had to secretly watch me from behind. Check if I found out you were the murderer. See if Aunt Chien was completely dead, so you could make other plans and reactions accordingly. Lee Chunky's body tensed up. His glasses slid down to the bridge of his nose. He laughed dryly. Lin Tian. Do you want to know my motive for the murder? I stood up slowly. Mr. Lee, if I can deduce this much, there's no way I don't know your motive. But what I didn't expect was that Aunt Chien was that kind of person. Yeah, no one would have thought she was like that. I left takeout at my door time after time. Every time she passed by, she'd take it home. When my girlfriend's family came to visit, she secretly talked to my girlfriend's parents, spreading bad rumors that I was stingy and stuff, which forced my girlfriend to break up with me. Under pressure from her parents, every time I caught her doing that, she'd adjust her collar and walk away chattering, saying it's ridiculous that I'd accuse her of such things. This time I caught her red-handed. She even said she was a teacher, a role model, that I had misunderstood her. After Lee Chun-ki finished laughing, his smile stopped abruptly. He looked completely worn out. Officer Yang, thank you. I'll confess everything about what happened next. Sorry to make you come over here. No problem. I opened the door of the interrogation room and walked out. After he left, Lin turned around. Mr. Yang was a bit confused after listening to all that, but he knew I had completely broken down Lee Chun-ki's psychological defense. The next round of interrogation will be way easier, but now that he's gone, he has no idea how to talk to Lee Chun-ki. He hurried out after him and came up to me. Mr. Yang, what exactly is going on with the whole case? He asked confusedly. You can listen to Lee Chun-ki explain it slowly to you later, I said. Just then, Zhao Sen came from the other side, pushing through the crowd in long strides, and stopped in front of me. Great job. We'll take over everything from here. But could you tell me where he hid the murder weapon? Please? I'll send someone to look for it first. He lowered his voice for the last part. This was something he had to do. In the first face-off with Lee Chun-ki, he fell one step behind. Next time he faces Lee Chun-ki, if the guy asks him to find the murder weapon again, what's he gonna do? Although the water stains inside the fridge, and the ones on the floor can be used as evidence. This evidence is way too weak. It's much better to find the murder weapon and slap it in front of Lee Chun-ki to get the upper hand, so he can't argue anymore. Chaosen Lingling and a crowd of watching officers were all staring at me. They all looked really expectant. They'd searched Lee Chun-ki's entire house and still didn't find the murder weapon, so they all wanted to know where it was. And if I could figure it out, I thought for a second. Lee Chun-ki started planning how to kill Aunt Chien very early on, so the murder weapon must be really well hidden. I saw the wound on the back of Aunt Chien's head. It was caused by something similar to a hammer. If a thing like that was left out in the open, it would be super obvious anywhere. You guys would have found it really easily. But you didn't. Either he threw it away, or he hid it in a secret compartment in his room, like under the floor tiles below the bed, or in a hollowed-out part of the wall. Maybe the murder weapon is hidden there. And after Lee Chun-ki retracted his confession, I called him out within just a few minutes. Obviously, he didn't have time to throw away the weapon. So there's only one possibility. All the officers suddenly got it after hearing this. Lee Chung-ki has a secret compartment in his room at home, where he hid the murder weapon. No wonder we couldn't find it. Xiaosen clapped his hands suddenly. Mr. Yang is right. That's exactly what I thought too. We're on the same page. When he said this, Ling Ling next to him looked completely speechless. Our captain has such a thick skin. She thought to herself, if she was the one who lost to Lee Chung-ki, there's no way she would be able, in front of me and all these officers, to say what Xiaosen just said. Xiaosen coughed lightly and turned around.
You, and you.
Go to Lee Chung-ki's house right now. Follow what Mr. Yang said. Do a proper job and search every inch carefully, he ordered. Yes, Captain. Xiaosen looked relaxed after that. Wait a sec, sir. Wait till I finish interrogating Lee Chung-ki. I'll send you home myself, he said with a smile. He was worried that when he faced Lee Chung-ki later, there would still be problems he couldn't solve, so he wanted me to stay a bit longer. No need, it's already getting late. I have to go to work tomorrow. I'm gonna head home and sleep first. You guys keep at it. I can take the bus home myself. I've already stayed here for quite a while. I still have to feed my rats when I get back. I don't have time to wait around anymore. As for what Zhao Sen implied, I didn't overthink it and didn't pay it any mind. I didn't wait for Zhao Sen to say anything else. I headed for the door. Zhao Sen scratched his head. He couldn't tell if I didn't get what he meant, or if I did get it, and turned him down on purpose. But since I had things to do, there was no point forcing me to stay. I already analyzed the case thoroughly anyway. If he, a captain, was still too scared, it would be too embarrassing. Lin, you take Mr. Yang home, he ordered. No matter what I thought, there was no way he wasn't going to send someone to take me home. After all, I came here to help them solve the case. How could they bring me here and not send me back? Oh, okay, Captain. I'll take Mr. Yang home. He chased after them quickly. I had already reached the entrance by then. He grabbed a helmet. Then he stood by the roadside, getting ready to catch a bus home. Mr. Yang, the captain told me to take you home. Ling Ling ran after him and yelled. Just then, a red BMW pulled up right in front of me. The window rolled down. A woman with a cold expression appeared in front of me. Get in, I'll give you a ride. I raised an eyebrow. Who are you? You're really good at deducing things. Try to figure out who I am, the woman said. I waved my hand and said bye. He turned around and walked straight towards Ling Ling. He didn't have time to mess around with her. If he wasted time on that, he'd already be home by now. I'm a forensic doctor. My name is Joe Pei. I'll give you a ride home. I have something I want to ask you, the woman yelled from behind. Forensic doctor. She actually is a forensic doctor. I asked Ling Ling. Ling Ling looked at Joe Pei. Yes, Mr. Yang. She's Forensic Dr. Zhou from our police department. I stopped in my tracks. I opened the door and got into the BMW. Joe Pei rolled up the window casually and ignored Ling Ling completely. The BMW started up and drove off. Ling Ling stared at the leaving BMW, totally at a loss. Mr. Yang, why did you get in her car? I sat in the back seat of the BMW, looking completely uninterested. He told Joe Pei the location of the cinema. His e-bike was parked there. He needed to ride it home later. Aren't you going to ask what I want to talk to you about? Or did you already deduce what I'm going to ask? Joe Pei asked me through the rearview mirror. I leaned back comfortably against the car seat. I'm not a god. I have no idea what you want to ask me. As for why I'm not asking, Forensic Dr. Zhou, you're the one who has questions for me. Whenever you think it's the right time to ask, you can go ahead and ask. I'm in your car anyway, before we get to my place. You'll definitely ask me anyway. There's no point in me asking first. That's also why I got in her car. She had something to talk to him about. There was no way he could avoid it no matter what. Might as well face it head on. Zhou blinked once. I had someone look into you just now. You didn't even finish high school. No offense, but in this day and age, people who don't finish high school are basically illiterate. But you can use the corpse and details around it as clues. Deduce the entire process of the crime. Find the killer. Find the murder weapon. That's way too impressive. It's shocking. Even the police officers at the department nowadays Can barely do that. But you did it so easily. Don't you think you should tell me how you did that? She asked in an accusatory tone. My expression didn't change at all when I found out Joe Pei looked into me. Ever since Jiaosin found him, he knew he would definitely be investigated. Even if Joe Pei didn't do it, Xiaozhen would have anyway. It's unavoidable when you deal with the police. So that's what you're asking about, forensic Dr. Zhou. Not going to school doesn't mean you're illiterate. It doesn't mean you know nothing. With all due respect, even though you're a forensic doctor, and you've read a lot of books, you don't understand the point of reading. Reading is to open your mind, shape your values, teach you sense and right from wrong. It's not for you to have unfair prejudice against others. Prejudice can easily make you misjudge a person, he said calmly. Zhou Pei was slightly startled. If you think of me as a high school dropout who doesn't have much formal education, but likes reading extracurricular books and loves solving mysteries, you'll easily figure out why I can use small details to deduce the course of the case and find the killer, I continued. Xu Bei bit her lip lightly. She found that once she thought about it my way, everything suddenly made sense. Why could he deduce all that? Because I know how to deduce. I've read books on this stuff, and I know how to use what I learned. The car went quiet for a moment. After a little while, the car stopped. I opened the car door and put on my helmet. Ride the bike back home. Zhu Pei was sitting in the car and thought of what her father had told her. Getting an education is a good thing, but it's not an excuse for you to be arrogant or look down on others, Zhou Pei. You need to let go of that arrogance you got from studying abroad. Otherwise, you'll get nowhere at all. She looked up at me, who was leaving, and stared at my back in a trance. After a long while, I was out of her sight. She was just about to drive back when she suddenly realized something. Wait, those first lines he said earlier were saying I'm arrogant, that I don't understand common sense. Can't tell right from wrong, that my values are totally messed up. He was criticizing me, she said through gritted teeth. Back at home, I quickly took out food to feed the rat. Sorry, bro rat. I'm late getting back, he said apologetically. Then he sat down and took out his phone and saw tons of message notifications on it, all from Jiang Man. Brother Yang, are you done with your work? Brother Yang, did you get home? Brother Yang, are you okay? I'm so worried about you. Brother Yang, where are you? I'll come find you. I texted back, Jiang Man, I'm done with work and home already, I'm fine. Jiang Man replied the very next second. Great, you're home, Brother Yang. Phew, Brother Yang. Now I can relax. Then Jiang Man sent a few photos. They were of her in pajamas wiping tears, looking all delicate and pitiful. After seeing those photos, my nose felt warm, and a trickle of red liquid came out. He got a nosebleed. The rat thinks you're way too weak, so it brought you an ancient book that records the recipe for Sichuan Dabu herbal nourishing soup. Weak. Who's weak? Me. What part of me is weak? I glanced at my slightly skinny arms. My eyelid twitched. Then I wiped my nose and saw blood on the back of my hand. Why am I having a nosebleed? Am I actually that weak? He hurriedly grabbed a towel to wipe it off and checked Jiang Man's messages at the same time. As long as you're home, I'm relieved, Brother Yang. It's getting late. I'm gonna head to bed first. See you tomorrow. I'll miss you tonight. Good night. Shy, I replied. Good night. He then sat down next to the rat and started flipping through the book with the Sichuan Dabu soup recipe. Everything was written clearly on it. The whole method of making this Sichuan Dabu soup, all the herbs and ingredients needed for it. There was also a line at the end. This herbal soup was jointly developed by the imperial kitchen and imperial physicians back then, made exclusively for the emperor, and it has excellent effects. These herbs are pretty expensive, though. No wonder it was only for the emperor. Ginseng deer antler. I'll go buy a set tomorrow. I need to fix my weak body. I need to nourish it back to health. I said firmly, he can't be weak, he won't be weak. He needs to be strong and fit. He needs to be normal. Just like everyone else. Changing life starts with the body, I thought to myself. He tidied up the room a bit, then took a shower and went to bed. After his practice, he went to deliver packages as usual. He went home at noon to boil the medicinal liquid, then headed out to the pharmacy, spent over 20,000 wen, and bought 3 sets of the herbs needed for the herbal soup. then went to the market to buy the other required ingredients. After he got everything done, he hurried back home. The medicinal liquid for Baji Quan practice was already boiled. He drank half of it and used the other half for a bath. Before getting in the bath, he followed the instructions in the herbal recipe book, put the Shiquan Dabu soup in the pot to stew, then he soaked in the medicinal liquid and napped for a little while. When he woke up, the medicinal liquid had already been absorbed by his body. He got up afterwards, poured out the Shiquan Dabu soup, and put it into a bottle, then took it with him when he went out. During his break from delivering packages in the afternoon, he drank the Shiquan Dabu soup when he was thirsty. He didn't feel much different after drinking it, so he kept delivering packages, but the more he worked, the hotter his body felt. His mouth was dry. He was unbearably hot and restless. It felt like several balls of fire were burning inside him, ready to burn him to a crisp. And the worst part was, his eyes kept darting around uncontrollably. The second he saw the woman, he pounced like a starving wolf. That all-purpose nourishing soup was way too strong. I let my guard down. He rushed to find a small grocery store, bought a 1 yuan bottle of mineral water, chugged the entire bottle in one go to tamp down the unwanted heat inside him. He felt better right away. Then he lowered his head and frowned slightly. This medicinal soup is really potent. Then he went back to work, but the heat inside, suppressed by the water, flared up again not long after. So he had to buy a bottle of water to drink every little while, to hold down the unwanted heat inside. When it was almost 5 o'clock, his phone rang. "Little brother Yang, come to my place right now. There are bad guys at my door." I saw it was a message from Xiao Wangxin. Xiao Wangxin was being harassed again. "Probably same as yesterday. I'll be right there." He texted her back, hurriedly rode his electric tricycle straight to Xiao Wangxin's home. Going at full speed, he arrived at Xiao Wangxin's apartment building 3 minutes later. Since he didn't have time to buy water, the unwanted heat inside him was burning like crazy now, filling his whole body with energy, like it was endless. He sprinted all the way up the stairs, didn't even take the elevator. When he got to the hallway upstairs, his eyes were all red, mouth hanging open. He was breathing heavily, hunched over like a starving wolf. Looking really scary, he spotted 3 figures in his line of sight. "Hey, Miss Lin. Open the door, please. Miss Lin, we're from Dongfeng Media. We're here to sign a contract with you." "Hey, Miss Lin. We're really sincere about this. As long as you sign with us, we guarantee we'll make you famous and earn way more money." Just as they were talking, a low, beast-like growl came from behind them. "You're here to harass Sister Wangxin again." They turned around slowly and saw a tanned figure wearing a safety helmet, with red eyes charging right at them. Baji Explosive Fist, the fiercest, strongest, most ruthless punch, recorded in the ancient Baji Quan manuals. "Hey, buddy. This is a misunderstanding, big misunderstanding. The 3 guys saw me charging aggressively, like a mad dog, so all of them started panicking. They tried to explain. I didn't care at all. They could only step back one by one, then turned around and ran. Super fast. If this was the old me, there's no way I could catch up to them. But he's different now. The all-purpose nourishing soup, plus the medicinal liquid used for Baji Quan training, both gave his body a huge boost, making him as rabid as a starving wolf. He got closer and closer to the 3 of them. "Buddy, if you keep this up, we're gonna fight back. The 3 of us can take you easy, come on." I yelled fearlessly. Shit, we ran into a lunatic. Damn it, we shouldn't have forced this woman to sign. Turns out she has a death-defying bodyguard. "Cut the crap. He's coming, what do we do? Stop him!" The 3 of them scrambled to grab me, trying to stop him. I charged right at them, boom, that hit. Knocked one guy straight to the ground. Then I pounced on him and beat the crap out of him. I almost bit him even. The other 2 were stunned. "Help me!" The beaten black and blue man screamed for help. It felt like his bones were going to fall apart. "We're coming!" The other 2 hurried over to pull me off. I turned my head and tried to bite them this time, scaring the 2 of them into jumping back immediately. But they still couldn't get away from me. I charged again and slammed into another guy. After knocking him to the ground, I beat the crap out of him too. After that, only one guy left. That guy looked at me. "Buddy, let's talk this out nicely. We're good guys." I ignored him completely and beat the crap out of him too. After I was done beating them, I leaned against the wall. I was tired, but that unwanted heat inside me was all released after that fight. Completely gone. I felt super relaxed. All done. I took out my phone. I sent a message to Xiao Wangxin. Click, the front door opened. Xiao Wangxin walked out carefully. She saw 3 bruised men lying on the ground, and me leaning against the wall. My eyes were totally bloodshot. It looked a little scary. She timidly walked over to my side. Little brother Yang. Are you okay? She took off my helmet and asked. I'm fine, that felt great. I laughed. All my pent-up anger was gone. I felt totally relaxed all over. Are you really sure you're okay? Oh my God, your hands are covered in blood. There's no way you're fine. Let me take you to the hospital. Xiao Wangxin said worriedly. I came here to save her after all. She was really touched. Oh, this isn't my blood. It's theirs. I wiped the back of my hand and replied, Hey, where do you think you're going? The 3 badly beaten, bruised guys were quietly helping each other leave right then. When I yelled out like that, they ran even faster. Let them go. Come on, rest at my place for a bit. Xiao Wangxin helped me up. We went inside her house. This was my first time entering Xiao Wangxin's home. She always picked up packages at the door and left right away, barely wasting any time. Once inside her house, I noticed there was carpet on the floor. The curtains were drawn, so the room was really dim. Should I take off my shoes? I asked if I needed to. Let me help you. This was my first time having someone help me take off shoes, especially a woman. I felt really awkward about it. I can do it myself. Do you have the strength for that? Doesn't seem like it. Then hold onto the wall and let me do it. Fine. Xiao Wangxin squatted down and helped me take off my shoes. Then she helped me sit down on the sofa. She poured me a glass of water, got a towel and wiped the blood off my body, and massaged my shoulders to help me relax. Little brother Yang. Thank you so much, Xiao Wangxin said gratefully. She looked at my slightly thin frame. It wasn't broad, but this was the guy who fought 3 people alone, risking his life for her. The more she thought about it, the more touched she was. I took a sip of water. I get paid to do this. It's my job, Sister Wangxin. You're being too polite. Xiao Wangxin's hands stopped moving. She pulled out 500 yuan from her bag next to her. Here, take this money. She angrily stuffed 5 100 yuan notes into my hand and said, It's 500 yuan. 100 yuan is enough? I pulled out 1 note and put the other 400 yuan on the table. We had agreed on 100 yuan. I wouldn't take more than that. But Xiao Wangxin picked up the 400 yuan and stuffed all of it back into my hand again. At the same time, she took another 500 yuan from her bag and stuffed that into my hand too. Sister Wangxin, what's this? I asked confusedly. Why are you giving me so much money? You think 100 yuan is worth risking your life like that? Xiao Wangxin asked, her voice a little shaken with emotion. I rubbed my nose. I didn't want to risk my life either. But the Shiquan Dabu tonic soup was way too potent. It made me have this restless, fired-up energy inside. I couldn't help but want to let it out. Would you believe me if I said I acted this way because I took something? Xiao Wangxin rolled her eyes at me. No way. What kind of medicine is that strong? That can make someone so hyped up that they can fight 3 people alone that well. If it was really that effective, it would be selling like crazy already. He definitely did it for me. He's just too embarrassed to say it. She stood behind me again and massaged my shoulders. Little brother Yang. Don't risk your life like that when you fight next time. You just need to come over, scare them off, that's enough. Or you could just call the police, of course. If you took the job of protecting me because you need money, just tell sister how much you need. I can give it to you directly. I looked totally helpless. Xiao Wangxin didn't believe me. There was nothing I could do about it. I really did drink that tonic. That's why I didn't even listen to their explanation and just rushed over to fight all 3 of them. I wasn't scared at all, actually. I should actually thank Xiao Wangxin for giving me this chance. To fight 3 people at once. Get this pent-up frustration out of my system. Otherwise, this restlessness will bug him like crazy. If I drink the all-purpose nourishing soup, I'll get this same pent-up restlessness inside me. Does that mean every time I drink this all-purpose nourishing soup later, I have to find a place to let out this restlessness? Before I can relax, I started thinking, gotta figure out a way and a proper place for him to release all that pent-up frustration in his body. While he was lost in thought, everything Xiao Wangxin said after that went in one ear and out the other. Ding dong. My phone suddenly buzzed a few times, snapping me back to reality. He glanced at his phone. It was a message from Jiang Man. She said she was all ready to go eat, and asked when I'd get off work to pick her up. I texted back 3 words, "Be right there." Xiao Wangxin noticed the message on my phone from behind. Her big eyes flickered. "Is that your girlfriend?" I put my phone away. "No, just a new friend I met recently." "Sister Wangxin, I've got my strength back now. You can stop," he said as he stood up, and stretched a bit. He realized besides feeling a little weak, and having sore muscles all over, there was nothing seriously wrong with him. "Sister Wangxin, it's getting late. I need to get off work. Hit me up if you need anything, okay? I'm heading out first." I took 100 wen, folded the remaining 900 wen, put it on the table and left. Listening to the sound of the door closing, Xiao Wangxin pursed her lips. What a total idiot. She suddenly thought of something. "Oh, right, I forgot to give him the stuff. Guess I'll have to give it to him next time." I rode the tricycle back to the courier company and clocked out. Then I hopped on my own electric bike and headed to where Jiang Man lives. Right now, at the apartment Jiang Man and Qu Yuan rent together, Jiang Man was wearing a floral maxi dress, put on colored contacts, slipped on a pair of high-heeled sandals, and carried a white handbag. "How do I look?" "Yuan, am I pretty?" Jiang Man asked with a smile as she spun around. Qu Yuan was leaning on the couch with her long legs stretched out. She was eating fruit as she watched Jiang Man preen and pose. "You are pretty, that's for sure. But you dress up this nicely every day. Let me ask you this. How far have you two gotten already? Don't tell me you dress up all pretty every day." But he doesn't even care. "And you're over here getting all moved by your own efforts, making a fool out of yourself," she said flatly. The corners of Jiang Man's mouth lifted. Yuan, you know me well enough. I'm just toying with him, that's all. You really think I'd actually date a guy who looks like a migrant worker? Getting moved by my own efforts. Being a clown, let me tell you. He's the real clown here," she said smugly. Qu Yuan raised her delicate eyebrows slightly. "So that means Lin Tian has fallen for you? Things are going super smoothly." Jiang Man laughed and flipped her long hair over her shoulder. "Duh, obviously. He's already totally head over heels for me. Just wait, after today. He'll be wrapped around my little finger. If I tell him to go east, he won't dare go west. If I ask him for money, he won't dare be stingy with me ever again. That impressive." "You didn't sleep with him, did you?" Qu Yuan said meaningfully. Jiang Man let out a contemptuous laugh. "Yuan sleep with him. What kind of girl do you think I am? I'm disgusted just looking at him. Why would I ever sleep with him?" I just wiggled a little bit, and he couldn't hold on and caved immediately. "Oh, so he really is a virgin, huh? Now you've got him exactly where you want him," Qu Yuan said knowingly. "Hurry up and get him to spend money on you. Get him to open a shop for you. Otherwise, you have to eat and chat with him every night, and also work at the bar. That's way too tiring. Yuan, are you being caring towards me right now? Or are you rushing me to open the shop faster, so you can ride my coattails?" Jiang Man asked with a grin. Qu Yuan took a bite of watermelon. "Fine, I do want to ride your coattails, okay? I recently met a rich second-gen kid who's actively pursuing me, but I don't even like him. I think he's totally tasteless, but he's got a lot of connections. So I want to get into rich people's circles through him, but I don't have any status, no family background, and no money. There's no way I can fit in there. I'm just waiting for you to open your shop so I have a strong backing." "Oh, I see, don't worry. I'll definitely hook you up with a rich second-generation kid and land you a perfect wealthy husband," Jiang Man said. Just then, the phone pinged once. Jiang Man checked her phone. He's already downstairs. "I'm heading down now, bye." Have fun." Jiang Man got on my electric scooter and wrapped her arms around my waist. "Pick any fancy restaurant for dinner tonight," I said. "Brother Yang, eating at fancy restaurants is too expensive. Can we pick a cheaper place instead?" Jiang Man said considerately. "I promised you, just pick whatever you want, it's fine." "All right then, Brother Yang. Let's go to Jingtai Building, you lead the way." The scooter zipped fast down the road. We arrived at Jingtai Building very soon. Inside Jingtai Building, Jiang Man and I were led by the waiter. into a large private dining room. Then we sat across from each other. The waiter handed over a menu. I nodded at Jiangman. I'm treating you to dinner, Jiangman. You order whatever you like to eat, he said as he put down the menu. Jiangman smiled. Brother Yang, you're so nice to me. All right then, I'll order, she said softly. Then she ordered 5 dishes and put down the menu. After the waiter went out, Jiangmen bit her lower lip. Brother Yang, just the two of us eating in such a big private room. Isn't that way too extravagant? She whispered. It is a little extravagant, but it's okay to do once in a while. I laughed. She came here because she also wanted to celebrate the start of her new life. You're right, Brother Yang. Jiangman agreed. She propped her chin on both hands and looked at me with a fond expression. Brother Yang, you got home so late last night. You must be tired from being busy with work, right? I nodded a little bit. Jiangman immediately stood up nervously. Then let me massage your legs for you, Brother Yang, and massage your shoulders too, to help you relax. Before I could agree, she stood up and ran behind me. No need, that's too much trouble for you. It's fine, the food hasn't been served yet. I've got nothing else to do anyway. Jiangman stretched out her arms and massaged my shoulders and arms. Her body brushed against mine. Her long legs swayed in front of my eyes. He was getting turned on. Jiangman noticed my small reaction. Time to start making up the story. When she thought of this, her thoughts started shifting. When she squatted down, her eyes turned red so that I could see it. Jiangman, what's wrong with you? I asked. Jiangman pressed her red lips together. I'm fine, Brother Yang. She said she was fine, but tears rolled down from the corner of her eye. I held her hand. Jiangman, what's really wrong? Jiangman threw herself down next to my legs. Brother Yang, I missed you so much last night and worried about you so much. I didn't sleep well at all, so I messed up some things at work today, and my boss yelled at me for it. You messed up. What did you do wrong? Is it serious? Jiangman was speechless for a second. Such a clueless straight guy. He actually only cared about what mistake I made. He should have cared that I got yelled at by my boss and asked if I was feeling wronged. He should be caring about my feelings. Instead of asking what mistake I made, that's just rubbing salt in the wound. Luckily, Jiangman knew this was my first relationship. It's normal for him to care about the wrong thing, and I shouldn't be upset about his words. So she said, it's not a big deal. There were just a few unimportant typos in a document. Just because of that, my boss yelled at me harshly in front of everyone. I ran to the bathroom and cried from being wronged. I lost face at the company. Jiangman sounded completely sincere. Her eyes were filled with tears, looking very pitiful. A few typos. You can just fix them, right? Why would he yell at you in front of everyone? Where is your company? I'll go talk to your boss for you tomorrow, I said in a low, serious voice. Jiangman held my hand. Brother Yang, he'll never listen to you. Besides, he's such a petty guy. Maybe after you leave, he'll bully me even worse, take advantage of me, and then she cried even harder, tears streaming down her face. I frowned. How dare he? Don't worry, once I talk to him, he won't dare mess with you again. Thank you, Brother Yang. I know you care about me, but forget it. Confronting him will only get you into trouble. We're both from the countryside. We can't afford to offend people like him. If I can't afford to mess with him, at least I can stay away from him. I don't want to work there anymore. I want to get a new job. There are plenty of easy-to-get jobs these days anyway. I thought for a second. That works too. I'll help you look for one. Get you an easy, low-stress job. Jiangman leaned closely against me. Brother Yang, honestly, I think no matter what job you have, you might get treated badly at some point, she said tentatively. What do you think if I start my own business? Be my own boss? Have you ever run a business before? No, but I want to give it a shot. If I run into trouble, will you help me, Brother Yang? You should be brave to try new things in life. If you ever need help, I'll be there for you. Brother Yang. Thank you for supporting me. You've given me so much courage. Jiangman's cheek brushed against my fingers. She was completely relaxed now. She fell for it. Next step is, in a couple days I'll tell him I don't have enough money for the business and ask to borrow money from him. Jiang Man thought to herself, things are going perfectly. A while later, there was a knock on the door. Someone's here, Jiang Man. I reminded her, Jiang Man wiped her tears pitifully and stood up, and went back to her seat. Come in, she called out. The waiter walked in carrying the dishes, and set them down in front of them. Brother Yang, let me get you some food. Eat more, okay? Jiang Man said warmly. You should eat more too. I also put some food on Jiang Man's plate. The two of them ate and chatted, having a great time. She's way warmer to me now. Looks like she's totally fallen for me. She's probably holding back her crush on me right now. I definitely can't help her tonight. Make her wait. Wait 2 more days. Until she can't take it anymore, when she's all anxious and impatient. Then I'll offer to lend her money, and help her out this once. Jiang Man plotted in her head. He's falling right into my trap. The two of them ate for almost 2 hours. Before leaving the restaurant, I paid over 1,000 yen for the meal, then walked Jiang Man back to her apartment complex. Jiang Man stood at the entrance of the complex, waving goodbye to me. When I was out of sight, she happily ran upstairs. Humming a song, she walked into her apartment, changed out of her floral long dress, put on a tight black mini-skirt, slipped on a pair of black stockings, and put on black high heels with red soles, then headed out looking alluring. She was in a great mood today. Her plan was going perfectly. In her eyes, in 3 days at most, she'll get money from me and open her own beauty and body care shop as the boss. No need to sell her looks working at the bar anymore. I'm gonna be rich. I'll go quit my job with the boss tonight. She tossed her hair, with a big bright smile on her face. She went downstairs, hailed a taxi, and headed straight for the bar she worked at. After she left, from behind a big tree next to the apartment complex, I stepped out wearing a hard hat. I was holding my phone in my hand, the screen showing messages from Jiang Man. Brother Yang, the food tonight was so delicious. I've never had such tasty food before. Brother Yang, you spent so much money today. It makes me feel bad. You work so hard for your money, Brother Yang. Let's not eat at such expensive restaurants next time, okay? Okay? Brother Yang, I'm so tired today. I want to sleep now. Brother Yang, text me when you get home. I'm gonna go to sleep first. Night-night, Brother Yang. I'll miss you. After seeing her message about sleeping, I put my phone away. I got on my electric scooter. On city roads with super frequent traffic lights, an electric scooter isn't much slower than a taxi. I took a shortcut, so I was even a little faster than a taxi. 7 minutes later, I parked my scooter not far from a bar called Black Cherry. He just saw Jiang Man get off a taxi from afar and walk into the Black Cherry bar. She went inside. I parked my electric scooter by the roadside, wore my helmet, and prepared to enter the bar to ask around about Jiang Man. Hey buddy, plumbers use the back door. A security guard came over and said to me. I took off my helmet. I'm here to drink and dance, I said. The security guard looked me up and down. Sorry about that. I got it wrong. You can go in? He stepped out of the way. I walked into the bar holding my helmet. The security guard couldn't help shaking his head. Even migrant workers know girls at bars get drunk easily now. You can pick up passed-out girls easily and take them to a hotel. Wonder who's going to be unlucky tonight to get taken advantage of by this migrant worker, he thought to himself as I walked into the dim bar. His eyes swept past groups of dancing people and didn't find Jiang Man. He looked towards the bar counter. With Jiang Man's looks and figure, whether she works here or just comes to have fun, she must be really easy to remember. After all, Jiang Man has very attractive legs. He walked up to the bar counter and asked the bartender, Excuse me, do you know a girl named Jiang Man? She wore a tight black short dress and has very long legs. The bartender glanced at me. Oh, you're looking for Sister Jiang Man, right? Order a drink and I'll tell you everything you want to know. I don't drink alcohol. Just give me a bottle of Wahaha, I said, and all the people drinking around me, men and women alike, all looked over in surprise. Coming to a bar to drink Wahaha? We don't have Wahaha. How about a cup of water instead? The bartender said speechlessly. A cup of water is about 35 yen. I don't like drinking water. I only like drinking Wahaha. Not having it is your problem. I already ordered it, I said with a shrug. If he won't tell me, I can just ask someone else. Because even though the bartender didn't tell me the detailed info about Jiang Man, He did tell me one thing. The Jungman is quite famous in this bar, and lots of people know her. I can just find any random server and ask about Jungman. The bartender's face looked a bit upset. I was ready to ask someone else. Hey, handsome migrant worker, you want to know about Jungman, right? I'll tell you, she works at this bar. She almost never comes to the main hall. She always goes to private rooms to accompany rich guests. Sometimes she also brings 1 or 2 suckers that she met outside to come drink here and scams them out of a lot of money for drinks. I hadn't left yet when a woman wearing flesh-colored stockings with heavy makeup came over holding a wine glass and said, her face was painted really white, like a paper doll. She scams people. Yeah, she's a drink scammer. Every bar has these people now. She's just more famous and more ruthless. All right, handsome, let's stop talking about her. You asked for Wahaha right away. I think you're really fun. Is this your first time at a bar? Are you still a virgin? Are you strong? Are you fit? She asked with a blurry, drunk look. Sister likes you? Stop looking for Jungman. She won't hang out with a poor guy like you. How about you come with me? If you serve me well and make me feel good tonight, I'll pay you. I frowned slightly and couldn't help moving a little further away from her. Another pot-bellied man next to me walked over and put his arm around my shoulder. Ignore this weirdo. Ask me whatever you want. I know stuff about Jungman, he said. The heavily made-up woman rolled her eyes at him and went back to chatting with the bartender. You know Jungman? Of course I do. More than half the people in this bar know her and have been scammed by her. This chick is super hot and flirty. Everyone's drawn to her, but if you don't have cash, she won't let you touch her at all. Look, you're a migrant worker. You don't make money easily. I'd advise you to stop looking for her, or you'll get scammed really badly. The pot-bellied man advised me. I just want to find her. I'm not here for anything else. Sai, looks like you're obsessed with her. That makes sense. This woman has tons of tricks to charm men. I fell for her tricks before too. She scammed me into buying thousands of dollars worth of wine here, and I didn't even get to touch her hand. All right, I've said everything I needed to say. Can't talk you out of it. If you still get scammed, that's on you. Boss Qian is here today. He's really close with Jungman. So Jungman is probably on the 3rd floor, sitting on Boss Qian's lap, drinking and singing with him. When you get there and see that scene, keep calm and don't get agitated. Boss Qian is not someone to mess with. If he gets angry, you'll get carried out of here today. He reminded me. Got it, thanks a lot. No problem. The pot-bellied man held his wine glass, watching my back as I walked upstairs. He's probably just like I used to be, thinking Jungman is some pure innocent goddess, with that fiery young temper of his. He's definitely gonna get beaten up today. The 5th floor of the bar. This is the top floor. The elevator doors opened. Jungman in high heels walked briskly up to an office door. She reached out and knocked on the door, then spoke up. Boss Chu, it's me, Jungman. Come in, the door's unlocked. A young man's voice came from inside. Jungman opened the door and walked into the room. There was a young man smoking a cigar inside. A woman in a white cheongsam was sitting on his lap. This young man is the owner of Black Cherry Bar, surnamed Chu. His full name is Chu Feiyun. Jungman, what do you need from me? Chu Feiyun put down his cigar and asked. Jungman sat on the chair opposite Chu Feiyun. Boss, I want to resign after finishing this month, she said. Chu Feiyun's face immediately darkened. You've been working really well here, Jungman. Why do you want to leave? Did someone bully you? Jungman is the top-performing employee at Black Cherry Bar. If she leaves, he will lose a lot of profit. No one bullied me, Boss Chu. I just saved up some money recently, and I want to open a beauty and body care shop. Jungman explained. Open a shop? Yes, over the past year or so, I've drank way too much alcohol. My health is not very good, so I want to take a break. Of course I won't leave the city. When my shop gets more customers later, I'll bring them here to drink, and I won't stop working as a wine tout. Once I open my shop and get familiar with other shop owners, I can bring them here too. They are rich. We can scam even more money out of them. I can also use my shop's reputation to bring in lots of out-of-towners. What do you think, Boss Chu? Jungman laid out all her plans. She had thought this through a long time ago. It looks like she's helping Chu Feiyun, but actually she's helping herself too. If the beauty shop doesn't get enough business later, She can also rely on Boss Chu's influence to bring in many customers for her beauty shop. It's literally a perfect win-win. Shu Feiyun thought it over. After a while, that's a great idea. All right, I agree. Thank you, Boss Chu. When my shop opens, I'll invite you over to support the event, Jiang Man said with a smile. Shu Feiyun agreed without hesitation. Sure, I'll definitely make you look great that day. I'll head out first then, Boss Chu. Boss Qian is here. He's in box 7 on the 3rd floor. Go keep him company. Got it. Jiang Man walked out the door. A big smile spread across her face. Tomorrow I'll go look for a shop location. Then I can start milking him for money. I also want his apartment. I'll get that out of him too. Once I have everything, I'll ask Boss Chu for help and dump him for good. That way I'll have the apartment, the shop, the money, without even lifting a finger. I'll have it all. He's a guy from the countryside. No roots or connections here at all. With Boss Chu backing me, there's nothing he can do to me. I'll also tell Boss Qian about this later. I reckon he'll be more than happy to help me. With that thought, she got into the elevator. She pulled down the shoulder part of her top to look more alluring. When they reached the 3rd floor, the elevator doors slid open. She stepped out of the elevator and headed for box 7. Suddenly, someone called Jiang Man's name from behind. Jiang Man turned around to look. A figure wearing a safety helmet was leaning against the wall by the stairs, staring at her quietly. That familiar figure. That familiar look, it was definitely me. Brother Yang. Why are you here? She scrambled to pull the top she had tugged down her shoulder, back up to cover her shoulders. She tugged nervously at her short skirt, as if trying to hide something, just like a cheating wife caught red-handed by her husband. I came to check up on you. Did you sleep well? I waved my phone a little. Jiang Man could clearly see that the phone screen was displaying our chat history. Her facial expression shifted rapidly at that moment. Brother Yang, I was going to sleep at home. I'd actually already fallen asleep. But my friends called and dragged me out to come to this party. If I didn't come, they said they'd cut ties with me. So I had no choice but to come, she explained hastily. Don't get the wrong idea, okay? There's both guys and girls at this party. I don't drink either. I'm just here to sit for a bit. I'll leave soon. Oh, really? Your skirt is almost showing your entire butt. Is that really nothing? I said slowly in a low voice. Jiang Man looked down and bit her red lip. She stammered, I as I put my phone away. Jiang Man, it's not like I'm overthinking this. I've just heard a lot of stuff. People downstairs told me everything you've been up to. Gotta admit, it's pretty wild. Brother Yang, they're all lying to you. They just want you to leave me. They're just jealous of you, actually. Jealous that you get to be with me. I laughed when I heard that. Cut the crap, Jiang Man. Stop acting, drop the act already. You're the idiot here. Don't assume I'm as dumb as you are. I'm already here, aren't I? Of course I know all your dirty secrets. Jiang Man's expression gradually changed. The wronged, pitiful look on her face shifted to one of pure anger. She was furious at being caught out. She thought I was the fool this whole time, that she had me wrapped around her finger. But now she realized I was the one holding all the cards. She was the real clown all along. You? You're just an illiterate loser, a virgin who's never even been in a relationship. In front of me. You've been making a fool of yourself this whole time, and you dare call me an idiot. You're the idiot! Oh, have I been making a fool of myself? I asked calmly. Jiang Man sneered. Haven't you? Last night someone couldn't control himself and got his pants all wet, remember? He was so embarrassed that before the movie ended, he ran home to change his pants. My pants got wet. Jiang Man, are you dreaming? You dare say your pants weren't wet? You dare say you didn't go home to change pants last night? I went to the police station to work on a case last night. It was a homicide case. If you don't believe me, go ask around. Ask if I solved a murder case yesterday, I said calmly. Solved a case? You... Jiang Man asked in shock. Then she started snickering. If an uneducated loser like you could solve a case, then pigs could fly. Cut the crap. Stop making excuses. You're the most stubborn person I've ever met. Fine, I'm unlucky this time. You found out what I'm really like by accident. I can't scam you out of your money, just leave. She didn't believe a word I said, and I didn't bother explaining further. This was probably our last meeting. We'd never see each other again after this. Think whatever you want. But if you want me to leave, you'll have to wait a minute. I came here today to talk to you about something. Jung Man asked. Something? What? You want to beg me to stay. Want me to give you a chance. In your dreams. Do you have any idea how disgusting you are to me? Are you out of your mind? Who the hell wants you to stay? I pulled out a payment receipt. Let's split the bill for today's meal evenly, minus the movie ticket money you paid yesterday, and the dinner you treated me to the day before yesterday. You still owe me 600 yen. Jung Man was totally stunned. He came all the way here, just for 600 yen, not to beg him to stay. Ling Tian, are you seriously this stingy? No woman will ever like you if you're this cheap. You know that, she said to me coldly. I rubbed my nose. That's my business. None of your concern. Fine, you win. Oh, right. I'm not paying you this money. I massaged your arm for you, and you took advantage of me. That's worth at least 1,000 yuan. If you do the math, you owe me 1,000 yuan instead. Nice try. I can knock 20 yen off, that's it. No more discounts. Jung Man's chest heaved with rage. She took 600 yen out of her bag and threw it at me. Take all of it and get lost. She's only worth 20 yuan to him. That guy was humiliating her on purpose. She couldn't take it anymore. I picked up the money off the ground like I didn't care. Jung Man, I advise you to be a better person. What you're doing is illegal. If you keep this up, you'll get in trouble sooner or later. I headed downstairs after saying that, without looking back. Go on, call someone to arrest me if you can, but only if you have proof. And for your information, you have no idea how I've survived these years. If you lived as poor as I did, you'd be just like me. Jung Man chased after me in her high heels, all the way to the stairwell entrance where I was going down, and yelled loudly, but I was already long gone from the stairwell. She was so angry her hair was a mess. She quickly fixed her hair, turned around and headed back to the private room. Her brows were furrowed tightly, face pale with rage. Ugh, so unlucky, this sucks. I just quit and he already found out. I should have used a fake name. I was stupid to use my real one. That was careless. I thought this country bumpkin would never come to a bar. Who knew he's into this kind of stuff? That idiot's luck is way too good. I was this close to succeeding. Now I have to stay here longer. She was so frustrated inside. Jung Man suddenly stopped in her tracks. She pressed the elevator button. I need to go see Boss Chu first. Tell him I'm not quitting for now. I'll wait till I make enough money before quitting. Ugh, money, 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 it's so annoying. Starting tonight. If I want to open my own shop, I need to scam more people out of their money. Trick more people. And as for that Ling Tian guy, he's not getting off easy. I'll go see Boss Chan later. Make him send people to mess you up for sure. She clenched her fists. The elevator doors opened. She rushed inside. Boss Chu can't find out about this. If he finds out I'm scamming people on my own and not cutting him in, he won't let me off the hook. I thought Boss Chu would never find out about this after it's done. I'll just say he's a total unreasonable troublemaker. Make him handle it. Before she knew it, the elevator reached the 5th floor. Suddenly her phone vibrated. Jung Man took it out and glanced at it quickly. Another sucker took the bait. Invite him over tonight. She smiled smugly. I rode my electric bike back home. I deleted Jung Man's contact info, fed the rat, then took off my clothes. There were lots of bruises on my body, black and blue all over. These are the injuries I got from fighting 3 guys today. My body isn't strong enough. I thought, if I train hard enough to get stronger, fighting 3 guys would be easy. I wouldn't get hurt like this again. Keep practicing Bajikwan. Sooner or later I can take on 3, even 10 guys at once. I said firmly, the rat thinks you're way too beat up, worried you'll get beaten to death. So it stole a hidden weapon from ancient times for you. The Rainstorm Pear Blossom Needle for self-defense. I was stunned. Hidden weapon? Rainstorm Pear Blossom Needle. I looked over at the table where the rat eats. There was a black cylindrical object lying there, and a piece of paper was tucked under the cylinder. I walked over and sat down. Thanks, Brother Rat, I said gratefully. Rat nodded while chewing on a chicken drumstick. Then he picked up a cylindrical object. It was roughly 1 size bigger than his thumb. The whole object was made of iron. Its front was covered with honeycomb-shaped holes. Is this the Rainstorm Pear Blossom Needle? I took a close look. Then I picked up the paper pressed under the Rainstorm Pear Blossom Needle. The paper recorded the rainstorm pear blossom needles production method and usage, including how many needles are inside it, and how to install the needles. There was also a human meridian chart included. It showed where to hit an enemy to kill them, or only injure them. What an exquisite hidden weapon. I thought to myself, now that I know how to use it, and how to assemble it, I put the rainstorm pear blossom needle away properly. Then I took a shower and went to bed. The night passed really fast. The sky was just starting to get light. In the alley behind Black Cherry Bar, a drunk man who just finished drinking came out, and was about to pee right there. He squinted his eyes, and stared at something on the opposite wall. It was pale and white. Looked like a woman. Someone passed out here drunk last night, and got taken advantage of. They didn't even leave clothes on her, the drunk said with blurry eyes. Hey, so fair-skinned. I'll go help her put on clothes. He leered and walked closer. Before he got near, he saw clearly what was on the wall. He jolted all over in shock. His pants got wet right away. He screamed at the top of his lungs. I got up early in the morning. I didn't skip my Baji Quan practice just because of a small bruise on my body. I know very well, no matter what you do, persistence is key, especially when it comes to training your own body. Once you stop practicing, you'll regress really quickly. Only with long-term accumulation can you make continuous progress. I fed Rat, then ate breakfast myself. Then I went to the small woods, behind the community to practice Baji Quan. After practicing Baji Quan for several days, I have a much deeper understanding of Baji Quan's force generation and fighting techniques. I can use Baji Quan much more flexibly now. I know my practice has reached the level of fully grasping all skills. I'm not far from the level of reacting instinctively. If I get more actual combat experience now, and train my reaction ability, then when someone throws a punch at me later, I'll be able to react in time, and know which Baji Quan move to use to block it. Once I reach the level of fighting back instinctively, I'll have fully mastered Baji Quan. I looked at my still pretty thin arms. I rubbed the tip of my nose. To gain more muscle, I probably need to eat better food, preferably eat more meat. I'll have meat tonight. After finishing practice, I went home and took a shower, drank a lot of water. Before leaving home, I brought the hidden weapon rainstorm pear blossom needle and hid it inside my clothes. On my way to work by bike, I was thinking after I drink the full nourishing soup, how should I burn off that excess energy? I want to fight but don't have an opponent. I still lack actual combat experience now, but there's no place for me to practice. I wish I could find a proper place, preferably a place that doesn't cost money. If I get a sparring partner, I'm afraid I'll lose my temper, end up biting their ear or something, and hurt them by accident. Underground fight clubs? No, that won't work. I lack experience now. Not that I'm too strong and need more fights. My current skill level isn't high at all. Going to an underground fight club is just asking to get beaten up. Besides, you have to pay to fight there. Not to mention people fight dirty there. If you're not careful, you'll get crippled. It's totally not worth it. Most importantly, does this small city even have underground fight clubs? I've never even heard of one. I need someone to practice with. They can't be too strong. They have to be scared of me and listen to my orders. Preferably there are a lot of them. And of course it's better if it's free. I thought about this perfect scenario. There's no way such a good thing exists. I couldn't help shaking my head. I rode my bike to the courier company. I saw a lot of young people with dyed hair squatting at the entrance of the company. They were chatting and smoking, glancing at people coming in and out from time to time. No one knew what they were up to. Hey, team lead, what are those guys doing? I walked into the company, asked the team leader who was standing by the window gazing outside. The team leader is 35 years old this year. His name is Sun Dahai. He lives nearby. He has a pretty good temper. Sun Dahai was smoking a cigarette, squinting at the people squatting at the entrance of the courier company. Youngsters with hair dyed all sorts of colors. They're probably a bunch of small-time thugs. Someone must have called them here to teach someone a lesson. Whoever pissed them off is in big trouble, Sun Dahai said slowly. But it's none of our business. Just go to work as usual. I nodded. His eyes suddenly lit up a little, because he thought this bunch of thugs might just be the people he was looking for. They aren't very strong. Their moves are messy, and there's a lot of them. If they can be my sparring partners, it'll definitely help my actual combat skills a lot. I thought to myself, the only problem is they won't listen to me. If I ask them to be my sparring partners, they'll probably ask me for money. Sigh. I wish they were here looking for me, but I'm such a nice guy. I never pick fights with anyone. He thought to himself with a sigh. Just as he was thinking about this, a spiky-haired youngster at the courier company entrance flicked his cigarette butt on the ground and stomped it out. Brother Baotu, it's almost time. All the couriers should be inside now, he said to one of the youngsters with grayish-yellow dyed hair. The guy he called Brother Baotu blew out a cloud of smoke. Go ask the security guard. If Lin Tian is here yet. Got it. The spiky-haired youngster ran over to the courier company entrance and shouted at the security guard hiding inside the booth. Hey, little security guard, get out here, he said, crooking his finger toward the inside. The young security guard carefully stuck his head out. What do you want? The spiky-haired youngster asked. Go get Lin Tian from your company out here. The young security guard knew me. We were pretty close. We're both young after all, and have a lot to talk about. What do you want with Lin Tian? He didn't go call him right away, but asked carefully first. The spiky-haired youngster's eyes widened angrily. I fucking told you to go get him, so go get him. What are you yapping about? Want me to smack you? He threatened, raising his hand. The security guard jumped in fright and immediately ran into the company. To find me, he told me that the group outside was looking for me. You're in trouble. That bunch is here for you. Ask the team leader for leave today, and sneak out through the back door. I was stunned, then suddenly felt a weird sense of excitement. They're looking for me, that's great. He really didn't expect those people to be here for him. He didn't remember offending anyone, right? He was a nice guy after all. Wait, he did offend someone once. Last night, actually. He started to figure it out. Lin Tian, why are you so excited? The security guard saw the smile I couldn't hold back on my face, and asked in surprise, this is obviously bad news. Why do I look so happy? I'm just hiding my sadness with a smile. Okay, I'll go meet them, really. They'll actually beat you up. Fine, should we call the cops then? I didn't do anything to them. They won't beat me. They probably just want to ask me something. As for calling the cops, let's not do that for now. I can run away today, but they'll come back tomorrow. These guys are low-level punks. They're annoying. I have to sort this out clearly. Yeah, that's right. Your life is so hard. I'll go get the team leader and the others. If they hit you, we'll come help you, the security guard said firmly. I patted his shoulder. Thanks, but no need. These guys are really tough to deal with. You all have families to take care of. If I drag you into this, I'll feel really bad. All right, I'm heading out. Keep an eye on things for me later, okay? Call the cops if something goes wrong with me. Okay. The security guard agreed. I walked out of the company casually and got to the entrance. I'm Lin Tian. What do you want with me? He said casually. Headshot Bro stood up. Everyone squatting nearby came crowding over too and surrounded me completely, blocking every way out for me. Kid, you're Lin Tian. You know what? You've pissed someone off. He snarled viciously. I raised an eyebrow slightly. Oh, so you know Jiangman... Headshot Bro stood right in front of me, looking at me all cocky. She sent you guys here. Boss Qian heard her crying and sent us. He told us to teach you a good lesson, and make sure you never go near Jiangman again. He also told me to let you know, get the hell out of this city right now. Jiangman doesn't want to see you ever again. If you don't agree, we have tons of ways to mess you up, Headshot Bro said coldly. I scratched my head. How shameless is that liar, Jiangman? I didn't even go after her to settle the score, and she's the one coming for me first. But that works out, actually. Without you guys, I wouldn't even know how to deal with the supertonic incident. Saying that, I pulled the Rainstorm Pear Blossom needle from my pocket and aimed it at Headshot Bro right in front of me. Whoa, kid. You want to fight back, huh? But that little stick you're holding is way too short. Not even as long as my darts, he said mockingly. I twisted the Rainstorm Pear Blossom needle straight away. But it's way more powerful than your darts. The Rainstorm Pear Blossom needle can be twisted 7 times total. First twist. 7 steel needles shoot out from the holes. Second twist. 14 steel needles shoot out from the openings. And so on. 7 more needles each time you twist it. The power keeps getting stronger. And the force gets more powerful too. Until the 7th twist. It shoots out 49 steel needles. When I did the first twist, 7 thin steel needles shot out, pierced right through Headshot Bro's pants, and stuck into his leg. Headshot Bro's face instantly changed color. Ah! He grabbed his leg and screamed in pain. But when he grabbed his leg, he touched the back ends of the steel needles, pushing the needles deeper, which made the pain even worse. What did you do? He screamed as he pulled down his pants. Everyone could see a ring of close black dots on his leg. Those were the back ends of the 7 steel needles. Looks like 1 or 2 already pierced. Right into his bone. Compared to the human body, these steel needles are super sharp. They can pierce right through skin and flesh with barely any force, like cutting through tofu. What do you think? I waved the rainstorm pear blossom needle in my hand. That's that thing in his hand. Grab it from him now. Headshot Bro snapped back to his senses. He ordered the men next to him. The guys around immediately surged towards me. I looked at him calmly and aimed it right at Headshot Bro's crotch. If they so much as move an inch, I'll cripple you for life. Cut the head off the snake first. I knew that rule very well. Headshot. Bro's face immediately went pale. He didn't even bother holding his injured leg anymore, and quickly bent his body awkwardly. Stop, all of you stop. He yelled in a panic. His men all stopped coming towards me. Bro, let's talk this out nicely. Headshot Bro stared at the needle holes on the rainstorm pear blossom needle in my hand. He said fearfully. He still wanted his lower half to work properly after all. I looked at Headshot Bro quietly. Give me your phone number. I'll contact you later. You have to bring your men over whenever I say. These guys are perfect sparring partners for my actual combat practice. Bro, let's just call this whole thing even. Boss Chen hired us. We'll leave you alone, okay? You want us to take orders from you. That's against the rules. Even if I agree, my boys won't agree either. Headshot Bro said nervously. I lifted the rainstorm pear blossom needle slightly. Right now, my rules are your rules. If anyone has a problem, that's fine. Tell it to this. See if it agrees, I said as I moved the rainstorm pear blossom needle and aimed it at the guys next to Headshot Bro. What do you guys think? When those guys saw I was pointing the rainstorm pear blossom needle at them, they panicked and waved their hands quickly. We do whatever Headshot Bro says. If Headshot Bro agrees, we have no problem with it. They all passed the buck one after another. I pointed at Brother Baotu again. They said they'd take orders from you. If you keep turning me down, he won't agree to that. Brother Baotu's lips twitched. Fine, I agree. Then hurry up and do it. Grab a business card and give it to him, quick. Brother Baotu urged. The spiky-haired young man held out a business card with trembling hands. I took it and he jumped far away in fear. You guys can head back now. Oh right, one more thing. Pass a message for me. Boss Qian who sent you here, including Jiang Man, and all of you too, need to remember this. Be glad you live in this era. Don't ever come mess with me again. Or I wouldn't mind. A common man's fury, he said slowly, his voice laced with coldness. If I don't put them in their place, these guys will never know their limits. Yes, we'll go back right now. And pass your message on to them. Brother Baotu waved his hand. Hurry up, move it. After the group left, I put away my pear blossom storm needles and turned to walk into the courier company. He saw the security team leader and others were all watching him. The second he walked in, team leader Sun Dahai came over and asked concernedly, They didn't give you a hard time just now, right? I shrugged my shoulders. Nope, they just asked if I knew a person named Jiang Man. Nothing else. The fact that he has the pear blossom storm needles, of course he wouldn't tell Sun Dahai and the others. It's his secret. Besides, the gate is quite far from the company. Sun Dahai and the other security guards were scared themselves and didn't dare get close. So they didn't hear the conversation between Brother Baotu and me. They had no idea what we talked about or what we did. Whew, that explains it. I'm such an honest guy. Why would I mess with those people? So they were just asking about someone. Sun Dahai heaved a sigh of relief and said reassuringly, All right, everyone, break it up, get back to work. Everyone relaxed and scattered immediately. I grabbed my packages to deliver and headed off to work. Meanwhile, in the back alley of Black Cherry Bar, Chowson stared at the body hanging in a cross shape on the wall, his face grim. Captain, the back alley security cameras broke a long time ago and were never fixed. so they didn't capture what happened here last night. A police officer came over to report. Shosen's face turned even grimmer. What about the victim's identity? Did you find out anything? We asked the bar owner just now. He came to identify the body and said the victim is Jiang Man. She worked at the bar as a hostess. A hostess? The killer was so brutal. This looks like a revenge killing. Did you ask the bar owner if Jiang Man had any enemies? Zhao Sen continued. The officer flipped through his notes. The bar owner said she had no enemies. But a cleaner said, Jiang Man had a lot of enemies, all people she had scammed. He alone knows almost 20 names of people with grudges against her, and that's not counting the ones he doesn't know about. All these people have grudges against her. He replied, Question them, question every single one of them. Ask them every single detail. I need to know where all of them were last night. Yes, sir, not long after. Lingling walked over. Her pretty face was deathly pale, with almost no color in it. What did Zhou Pei say? Zhao Sen asked immediately. Lingling began. Forensic Joe said, The victim has no clothes or phone on her. There are 4 wounds on the body total. Her wrists, heart, and throat were all nailed to the wall with steel nails, which left her entire body hanging in midair. The fatal wound is the steel nail driven into her heart. Time of death is between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. last night. All other details can only be confirmed after we perform an autopsy in the forensics lab. One more thing. Except for the hair on her head, all other body hair has been completely shaved off. Chowson's phone rang. He answered it immediately. He kept saying yes, yes, yes. After he hung up, he put down his phone. Captain, who was that on the phone? It was the director. He told us to solve the case as soon as possible. Chowson replied. Come on, follow me to check the surrounding area. See if we can find any clues. Yes, Captain. Chowson wandered around the surrounding area. He didn't find any clues. Just then, a police officer ran over and stopped in front of him out of breath. Captain, we found something. Chowson's gaze sharpened. What is it? A bartender who was on duty last night said, A young man in a hard hat came looking for Jiang Man. He looked like he just found out Jiang Man scammed him and was about to confront her. Does he remember the guy's look or age? He said the lighting was dim at that time, so he couldn't see the guy's face clearly. He only knew he looked like a construction migrant worker. He told us to ask the security guards. They might remember a migrant worker. If he really got all his money scammed, he could have done such a terrible thing. Come on, follow me to look into this further. Josen brought his team to the entrance to ask the security guard here. You mean the young guy in a hard hat, right? Yeah, I remember him clearly. I was even thinking back then, migrant workers are so trendy these days, even coming here to party. Do you remember what he looked like? He was dark and skinny. I don't remember the details, though. But we have security cameras here. They must have caught him on tape, he said as he pointed to the camera in the corner. Zhaosen glanced at it. Let's go to the surveillance room. Inside the surveillance room, Zhaosen and Lin Ling looked stunned as they stared at the figure on the monitor. They knew Lin Tian way too well, so well that they never expected to see him here, especially since he just helped them solve a murder case the day before yesterday. They finished the report yesterday. After wrapping up the case, Zhaosen originally planned to deliver to me a good citizen banner today, plus a 5,000 yuan bonus, but a new murder case popped up first thing this morning, so he didn't have time to go. Maybe this time he'll have to give him cuffs instead. Zhaosen thought to himself. He immediately took out his phone and called me. I was delivering packages when I picked up the call. Hello, who's this? It's Zhao Sen, captain of the police station. You helped us solve that case earlier, remember? We were just about to thank you. Where are you right now? I'll come meet you right away, Zhaosen said with a smile. He quietly gestured to Ling Ling. Ling Ling got the hint right away. She knew she needed to go get the car first. No need to be so polite, it's my pleasure to help. You don't have to thank me, I replied. I'm delivering packages right now. I don't have time to accept their thanks. Zhao Sen's mind raced. He walked out of the surveillance room as he spoke. Look, it's our regulation. We have to deliver it to you in person. I don't make the rules. Besides, you did us a huge favor. It would be super rude if we didn't thank you properly. If word gets out, it'll make our jobs really hard. I listened and checked the street sign for my location. All right, I'm delivering packages near the traffic light on East Road. You can come over. I'll take a break here and wait for you. I'll be there soon. Jowson hung up the phone politely. His face immediately turned serious. He ran out of the Black Cherry Bar and got to the entrance. Ling Ling already had the car parked by the door. He opened the car door and hopped in. He told Ling Ling my location and told her to hurry. Okay. Ling Ling started the car without hesitation and drove towards where I was. On the way, Ling Ling asked Zhao Sen as she drove, "Do you think Lin Tian is the killer?" Zhao Sen crossed his arms and stared ahead. "What do you think?" "I don't think so. When he helped us solve the case, he was super quick and logical. He doesn't seem like the type to get scammed, so he'd have no reason to kill someone," Lin Ling replied. Zhao Sen shook his head. "Captain, do you really think Lin Tian is a suspect?" Lin Ling asked in surprise. "But Lin Tian helped us solve a murder before. He knows what happens if you kill someone." She was really confused. "Based on the evidence we have now, Lin Tian is definitely a prime suspect," Zhao Sen said in a serious voice. "And as for him being quick and logical, that doesn't mean he can't get scammed by a woman. Even less reason to kill someone. That's exactly wrong. It even proves I have a motive for murder." "Captain, what do you mean by that?" "Ling Ling, you might not know this. A man with sharp logical thinking, a smart, intelligent man, can often end up ruined by a woman. I've handled tons of cases, lots of smart people, and rich folks get scammed by women all the time. So of course that could happen to me too. Plus, don't forget what the victim looked like this time," Zhao Sen warned seriously. Ling Ling thought of the victim's appearance and couldn't help shivering. "Listen up, Ling Ling, remember this. When a smart person gets scammed, they get way angrier. They'll use every trick to torture the other person until they die, just like our victim Zhang Man we saw today." Zhao Sen continued. "Ling Ling, you're still young. You just joined the police force. When it comes to the unwritten rules of solving cases, you've got a lot to learn." Ling Ling thought Zhao Sen was right, but she also felt Lin Tian didn't look like a murderer. "Captain, I just keep feeling Lin Tian isn't the killer." She couldn't help speaking her mind. "Why do you think he doesn't look like one?" Ling Ling froze for a second. Her earlier reason had already been shut down by Zhao Sen. She hadn't thought of a new one yet. Does he doesn't look like one count as a reason?" She was tongue-tied for a moment. Zhao Sen sighed. "Ling Ling, you have no reason. No evidence either. Nothing at all. All you can say is he doesn't look like one. You're being too naive. You're only looking at the surface. Sometimes murderers are way more reserved than you think. They hide themselves much deeper. Take Li Chengqi, for example. Who would have guessed a glasses-wearing, gentle guy would be a murderer? You can't judge a book by its cover. Remember, as police officers, we value evidence above all. Don't go by gut feeling." "Got it, Captain." Drive faster. I just made up an excuse to hold him back just now. If he is the killer, and he figures out what's going on, he'll definitely run. If a smart criminal like him gets away, a lot more bad stuff will happen." "Yes, sir." Ling Ling drove through street after street, and soon arrived at the location I mentioned. As soon as they turned onto the street, they saw me riding a courier company's electric tricycle parked by the side of the road. I was sitting on the vehicle, making a phone call to someone. "Drive over there," Zhao Sen ordered. Ling Ling pulled the car up next to me. Zhao Sen opened the door and jumped out. He stood right in front of me and grabbed my shoulder. I was startled by the sudden movement and was about to kick out the next second. I only stopped when I saw it was Zhao Sen from the corner of my eye. "Captain Zhao, don't sneak up on me like that. I almost attacked you just now," I said as I hung up the phone. He's been practicing Baji Quan lately, so his reaction speed is way faster than before, especially his vigilance. When Zhao Sen suddenly grabbed him just now, if it had been anyone else, he would have already subdued them with a counter move. Zhao Sen laughed. "I'm a Sanda master, you know. You better not try to fight me, or you'll definitely be the one getting hurt." "Sanda?" I put away my phone. "Got it, officer. You came to thank me empty-handed." He looked Zhao Sen and Ling Ling up and down. Both of them were empty-handed. They didn't bring anything at all. I thought if they came to thank me, they'd at least bring something. Who knew they'd come with nothing? He felt disappointed right away. "The thank you part. We can talk about that later."